trying to find the server. Okay, it says we're on now.
All right. Let's see.
So whenever it pops up, if you'll just share it to the thing.
Yeah.
All right, let's just give it a minute.
So yeah, I was gonna tell you, I had a dude when I was at the traffic light yesterday at Wilmington. He stopped. He's like, "Hey man," I was like, "What's up?" He's like, "What's How Copy Podcast?" I was like, "Oh, it's me and my buddy." He's like, "What's it about?" I was like, "Fucking whatever, man. Just check it out on YouTube." So hopefully he tuned in.
Oh hell yeah,
Yeah,
that's
buddy
awesome.
Jeff
We have-
was asking earlier, so I think he's gonna watch too.
I just got the notification. We don't have anyone tuned in yet.
Yeah.
All right.
So when you open it up,
Share.
underneath there'll be a thing that says share.
What's How Copy
And-
Podcast? I was like, "Oh, it's me and my buddy." He's like,
Oh, there it is. And then hit
a little bit behind.
copy link, and then go into the Fort Bragg Hunt Club and
All right.
post that. God, can we start now? Holy shit.
Jesus, buddy, just chill.
Yo, so Jonathan comes in. I get here at 6. We're supposed to go on at 7:30. Y'all
I
can
was
see
here
now.
at 10 after.
It's 7:46. Yeah, I know, but he comes in. He's like, "All right, we got to set up for 4 people because BT's coming. Bennett Toller's coming." I'm like, "What?" I was just talking to him on Facebook, and I said, "Yeah, let's do it Friday or next week."
I told him not to tell y'all he was coming.
Yeah.
And then I got halfway here and I was like, yeah, it's probably going to be stupid if I just tell him to walk in. So I had to tell you.
So if you see the way we're set up right here, where is he going to sit? Like, he could maybe go here, but then I don't have a microphone, and so I tried. I did try, right?
I mean, it was a good college effort.
Yeah, I tried, but it wasn't going to work. So he's going to come Tuesday.
Next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, of course. I would have said like
There's a lot of Tuesdays.
I would have said like August 25th if it wasn't going to be next Tuesday,
I think it's 15th.
whatever it is, the 15th. So Bennett Toller's coming on, and I'm going to set it up. We'll probably rearrange everything.
Why does YouTube do this dumb shit, man?
What?
Fucking. All right, this generation, don't fucking reinvent the wheel. All right, I click on live chat. And it's like live chat has moved. I'm like, okay, where the fuck did it move to? Take me there. It's not taking me there.
Oh, did you
Live
share
chat
it
has moved.
already? Did you already
Yeah.
share and post it? Okay.
Where the fuck did live chat go?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh well.
Pull it up on. Isn't that what this is for?
Did you see
Are we
that?
live now?
We
yeah.
are live.
Oh yeah, we're on. We're
So
on.
the stupidity is being broadcast.
That's half the fun.
I should have had it on when we were. So we finally made a call. Okay, BT, come in Tuesday. So I had to reset everything back up, and then we're ready to go. And Brennan decides to become the bartender.
Yeah, he's a bartender.
And 20 minutes later,
Yeah.
we got drinks.
if you want another 6 month aged old fashioned, get Brendan to make it
Oh
for
yeah.
you.
But I tell you what, he made
6 month aged.
he makes a damn good whiskey sour. I'll give him that.
It is good. Well, I have an old fashioned, but it's
All right,
good.
so before we get started,
Here, try that.
listen, everybody. Okay,
Try it.
just cut me off. I'm going to lose my
I'm
train of
sorry.
thought. That was probably important.
Everybody's something.
Ooh, why is it? That's fucking strong, bro. That's good. It's almost like mapley.
It's got the chocolate bitters. That's
Oh,
why it's
okay.
a little bit.
Yeah.
You ever had the big dude at friggin' Amstead's?
Oh, Amsterdam's. That's a place I gotta check
So
out.
what?
You know the big old muscle bound
I haven't
black
been there
dude
in a
behind
while.
the bar?
No, I never met
Dude, he
him.
makes the best friggin' old fashioned
Does he?
in the world, yeah.
I ain't been there in a while. I haven't been on my cigar game lately. But anyway, before we get started,
Okay.
listen.
Yeah.
Go to the, what do you want to call it? The pro shop, the swag shop. Everybody
Yeah.
all
Oh,
year. When are we going to get hoodies? And when are we going to get t-shirts? And when are we going to get hats? I can't snap my fingers and make that shit happen. I literally got to sit behind a computer. All those images, I have to design those. I have to assign everything. And I have to pay every month for that website to be active. So go order a fucking t-shirt, a hat, a hoodie, a fucking sticker, something, so I can at least break even. So support us.
Just don't tell them to meet you at the Skin and Shed, because evidently there's a lot of people who
Don't know
how to get
well,
there.
you know, so
Yeah.
when I first crossed that bridge, I don't know, 4 years ago. I think this is the 4th year we've been doing hoodies. Yeah, 4
Yeah, it
years
has to be,
ago.
because there's been 3 sets.
There's
The
Gen
green-
1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I've got the green one. That's the only one I've got.
You didn't get the black one? No, the black one was.
No,
I like the
I've
green
got
one the best.
I've got the green old school camo. That,
Yeah, I like
they were,
that one.
They were all like 7s. They were all labeled. I have a 2X that fits me.
Yeah.
Like, they're all mislabeled.
Yeah,
My
yeah,
buddy
yeah,
Dre
yeah,
was
yeah,
like, "Here,
yeah.
man, can you wear this? Because I washed it,
Hey,
dried
man,
it, and now it's tiny."
I don't make the product, man.
Just China.
But here's what, so I took everybody's order and I put it on an Excel spreadsheet. I was like, hey, no big deal. Everybody wants these, right? So I put it out. I'm going to take the orders for a week and then I'm going to put the order in. So I'm doing it. And people are coming like one person, 2 people. I'm like, what the fuck? Everybody wants these. And then all of a sudden, I think the first year we did like 80. But like people will send me a message like a month after I put the order in. Hey, I'd like to get a hoodie. I'm like, man, you don't pay attention. So then I put the order in, you know, with who was I using? Yellow Crayons at the time.
Yeah, old dude down here.
Yeah, Jerry Mack. And so they come in, and I'm like, okay, y'all have been waiting. You send me a fucking text every week about when they're going to be in. I'm going to be at the Skin Shed Friday at noon or 5 o'clock.
3 people show up.
One person shows up. I'm like, what the fuck?
They want you to bring it to
They
them.
want me to bring it to you. I'm like, you didn't pay. You at that time, this was 4 years ago. It was only like, what, $35, $40?
I don't know. I
And
didn't
then
buy
after
one.
Joe Biden took over, now $50. People are like, $50 for a hoodie. Bro, go to the store. I
Yeah.
paid $80 for a Sitka hoodie. I'm granted $20 of it was the Sitka name, but
No, about 45 of it.
I don't know. I'm telling you right now, when you go, we have to, our hoodies are $50, but like the actual cost is like 30 something. $33.
Well, you
so
gotta-
then you got shipping, and then you got I got to pay taxes on this shit. You know what I'm
And
saying?
you have the print set up and all that crap.
Yeah.
You gotta equate into it each time.
So
well,
fi-
it's a one time,
if-
but you got to put that throughout the entire
Right.
process. So.
If I set up the profit margins the way we're doing it, I'm using a drop shipper now. So you go on and you order, they make it and send it to you. That's it. I don't have to touch it. But if I were to put the profit margin where it should be, you'd be paying like $75 for that bitch. You know what I'm saying?
if it said something else on it, you'd get it.
Yeah.
You know
yeah,
what
yeah,
I mean?
yeah,
If it
yeah.
said First Light or
Right.
Buck, whatever, some
Yeah.
other company that's well known, people don't.
Which I
bat
don't
an eye at
understand that because
They don't want to support
like
local.
everybody, yeah.
It's just crazy. Some
Like
people just
this is
do
the reason
not.
why I think we kind of touched on it last time about Black Rifle Coffee. Why I get my Black Rifle Coffee sent to my house because I don't want to drive around town and look for it, and Food Lion doesn't have it, and Food
It's
Lion's
rarely anybody even in town has
so
it.
they send it to me. I just order 80. I think it's cost me like $80 a month. It's on repetitive, so it just always comes. I need to up that order too because now that I'm like retired, I'm drinking a lot more coffee. I think I drank through my month's supply in a week this past month. 'Cause
That's why he's antsy. Damn, no wonder he don't sit still.
Yeah, I drink a lot.
I
of
drink coffee at midnight. Y'all hurry the fuck up.
And you know, I do these breathing exercises that like get your body alkaline and give you a lot of energy, so you combine all the caffeine and all the oxygen overload and everything. I'm a little antsy, but
A little?
it keeps me going. Do I seem antsy? Maybe I should.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm
A
sorry.
little bit. We haven't surfed this week either, so that could be it.
No, it's been
And
a
it's
couple
almost
days.
scouting season.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
And it's
I
been so
thought it
hot.
opened Saturday for some reason.
So
This
did I.
Saturday.
So
Yeah.
we got a few people checking in, so welcome everybody to How Copy Podcast.
Yeah,
first
and
of
if you
all.
checked in, don't
Yeah.
forget, go to Hunt Club. I think Hunt Club Fort Bragg, all one word. Hunt Club Fort Bragg. Dot
Get some merchandise.
my Shopify.com. Buy a fucking t-shirt, buy a hat, buy something, man.
Yeah.
Fuck, I hate when I do all that and I'm like, okay, we're live. I sold. There were two guys bought t-shirts.
Well, we only have 3 viewers, so there's 2 of them.
I
So
know. I'm just like, man. And that new hoodie,
we're 60%
hey,
there.
that new hoodie is badass, bro. I ordered
I
one.
haven't
I
even
can't.
looked at it.
Oh, it's like olive drab, but it's got that new logo with the the orange and the white, and then it's
The
got
round or the long one?
the round. It's got the Fort Bragg Hunt Club with the deer on the chest
Yeah.
in black, but on the back it's got that new logo that shout out to Nate Labe. He hooked me up because I got like 4 logos, and that's another thing. That logo, that's not free. Like Nate did me a good deal on that, but he didn't do that shit for free.
Yeah.
Like a logo nowadays costs like $500-600, and he did it for less than that, but not too much less. He gave me a break, so I got to make at least. We as the fucking Hunt Club and the podcast have got to make at least $600 to break even on that.
Yeah.
But the fucked up part is I'm the only one at risk.
Now, I like, man, the old hats that you had before from a couple years ago that some of the old heads have, like, the OG
Yeah.
guys like
Yeah.
Greg wear the FBHC one is cool.
Oh,
the
that's
orange
the
one.
the low rent trucker hat.
Yeah.
I can put that back up.
I think general consensus out there. Maybe I think we should bring back some of those trucker hats. Well, you should bring back some of those trucker hats. Those things are sick.
Well,
dude.
here's the thing: the one that I was getting from Yellow Crayons, okay, which is the one like I gave you, okay. When I try to replicate that on the drop shipper, it's too small, and you can't. There's a lot of detail
Do you
in
have
that
it-
logo.
one of them in here still?
No, I took it home. I wore
That's a
it
cool
one
hat,
night.
man.
Yeah.
But get some swag, dude.
And if Yellow Crayons does it, I have to physically go down and pay for it, and I have to he'll send it. I had it set up last year, but he's gotten big time now. He used to be downtown, a little small shop. Now he's grown. So our little,
really?
one hoodie every week doesn't take priority. So
Well, that's good for him, though.
I think,
Bad
oh
for-
yeah, it's
bad
good
for
for him.
us.
It's bad for us.
you'll kill more
I think
deer.
it was Harley Oxendine. I don't know if you know him, but
I think my brother knows him.
yeah, he was very nice, thankfully, because like I said, this ain't a business for me. And he ordered his shit and it didn't go out. I think he waited like 2 months. Finally, I just went in and reordered it and sent it to him. I gave him his money back, and when Jerry Mack got his shit done, I sent it to him. And
Yeah.
he basically, whatever. It is what it is.
Bennett's checking in. Hey guys, what's up?
Yo.
Sorry, Bennett.
Yeah.
Don't break the secret.
You know what? I'm glad he didn't come in tonight. Not only that, he's welcome here anytime.
Yeah.
Once we set up, maybe when I set up for him to be here, we will we'll just keep it that way. And since hunting's closed on Monday and Tuesday anyway,
Yeah, I was
it'll
about to
work
say,
out.
just try to get everybody that
Yeah.
is willing to come.
Since
talk.
Buddy, I wanted to try to keep people who are out there listening who know who the legendary Bennett Tolar is.
It's
Yeah.
BT if you know him.
BT.
For a long
BT,
time.
yeah.
But Jonathan
yeah.
actually had him coming in tonight, but we apologize because we weren't able to accommodate with our studio. We got to do a little bit of rearranging
Yeah,
before we
Buddy-
can accommodate.
I
Buddy
tried.
spazzed out through some stuff and then
Yeah.
said, "Man, we can't make it happen."
Hey, I tried.
He almost torched the office.
He was like, "I don't want it looking like shit."
I don't want it looking like shit. Like
No, but-
if we scan this camera over this way, you're gonna see a white wall with
Yeah.
wires hang. Like it may look pretty cool in the section that you can see, but if you look at the rest, it's like shit laying and white wall. The studio is right here.
Yeah.
So
We're-
even when we do the two tables together, I'm gonna catty corner them so you still see the black wall. And people don't want to see fucking all that
Put him in
bullshit.
a V. Do him like that.
You always trying to complicate. You sure you ain't a woman?
We're almost, but a couple good things on the admin notes. I was looking at. We're almost up to 100 subscribers on YouTube, which is good. So that's a first milestone.
So yeah, and another
Really?
thing,
Yeah.
That's pretty
yeah,
good.
yeah, yeah.
Yep.
And I haven't
97.
bought. This is all organic. I won't even with my cigar channel. I never bought subscribers. I just like to get it.
I noticed the
Right.
shorts are getting a lot of.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
the
I
shorts
haven't.
usually do.
I haven't done any in the last two podcasts because
No.
Yeah.
I'm so
Well,
busy in my retirement that
Yeah,
I
you got a
don't-
lot going on.
I don't.
Did we figure out how to boost the audio?
No, that's it. Should that's as
It
good
should
as
be
gets.
okay. I mean, if y'all can
Is
hear
that
us, let
Josh
us know.
again?
Yeah, Josh Whitford Fishing.
God,
He also
Josh.
says, "I thought you were calling him this week."
Leave the damn audio.
I tell you,
alone.
wait, I tell you this, Josh. If you want to, you're welcome to come in anytime since you're the expert on all of this
Audio.
stuff and boost it. We're fucking retarded. I don't know. I do have a cloud. My microphone has a cloud.
That brings me to my next admin note. This is all DIY. This is all between the three of us collectively now that we've done ourselves. So if you want to boost the audio, go ahead and hit that Patreon. And,
Yeah,
and
something.
that'll help boost the audio. Yeah.
This shit costs money, bro.
I'm
But,
sure Josh. He probably
Yeah.
subscribed. He's a good people.
Yeah, but
So-
honestly though, I'm gonna not be a smart ass. If you do know how to boost, if you have any expertise, I said this before, even on the merchandise. If there's anybody out there that knows how to do this or wants a side hustle,
Help it out.
you're not going to make a lot of money unless you can sell. You only make money in clothing sales if you can sell thousands of articles. But if you're retired and you know a thing or two about a thing or two, this is a business. Like the Fort Bragg Hunt Club can be monetized. I just don't have the expertise.
I don't know how to do it.
You know, we got 3,000 members. You know what I'm saying? So every time we put a post out,
That's
3,000
a
people.
big impact, man.
Yeah.
3,000 people is quite a lot. So,
Hell.
but we got people tuning in. Willie Pete, I don't know who you are because that's your YouTube name, but they said, "What's up, Brendan?" So I'm gonna give you a shout out to Willie Pete, whoever that is.
Word.
What's up? Bennett says we're loud and clear, so that's
Okay,
good. enough for
good.
me.
Yeah,
Okay,
see,
good.
Josh.
Um,
Bennett can hear us.
something I was looking at earlier today, getting into the podcast and topic or whatever. They released a CWD surveillance regulation in North Carolina,
Right.
and I'm trying to disseminate that.
On the chronic waning, what is it?
Chronic
call it?
wasting disease.
Wasting.
So there is a procedure in place now. It's Cumberland and the
Did
four
you di-
surrounding
I
counties. that
thought you
touch-
were going to dissect it. For
That's
the
what I'm trying to
podcast.
do. Yeah,
Yeah,
I found this about an hour ago
I
or
believe
2 hours
it's
ago.
Hoke, Harnett, Bladen,
Right.
and Robinson County.
So no Cumberland County.
No, it
No,
surrounds
we're
in
the-
Cumberland. We're the
we're
middle.
the hub.
So
Oh,
there's a
shit.
map right here.
Like we're the red.
I was
So,
like, oh, please,
basically-
we're good.
yeah,
basically,
we're the red of it.
What it's looking like
we're
here, I'll show
worse.
you. Every county that is touching Cumberland County is subjective, with Cumberland being the main
But
focus
what
of
is it?
CWD.
What is it?
So
what do we have to do? What do we-
basically, I read the regulation, and it says that for all you hunters that are, as long as you live in this is just me disseminating this. Don't take this as the Bible or this go for word. But from what I read, there's certain rule, and there's an area that's in northern North Carolina, northwestern North Carolina as well, that has surrounding counties. If you're hunting on Bragg, which is mostly Cumberland, and a little bit of Hoke and
more.
but
Harnett,
if you
too.
shoot a deer in Bragg, you can transport it only to the counties that are touching Cumberland.
Okay.
You can't transport it outside of those counties, but
Okay.
you can. Now, if someone was saying it looks like, according to the regulation, you're going to have to pretty much debone a deer to move it. I didn't see that in there. It just says you're prohibited to transport it outside of those counties. It said that sampling must be sent in. I'm not sure how that's going to work this year. I'm sure the biologists are going to. I don't even know how they do sampling, if it's a tissue sample or
don't
what,
know.
but it's going to change things up a little bit. So just, see, it says you can't transport
So-
carcass or carcass parts.
So if you come in from, say, Rocky Mount and you kill a deer on Fort Bragg, you can't bring it back to Rocky Mount.
no, you cannot.
Without deboning, and you cannot bring the brain.
Right.
Right. So
Yeah.
you can cut its head off.
Yeah, if it's
throw it
a doe,
away.
you can debone it.
So
put it
what
in
if you
the
want to
cooler.
mount it? You got to get it done in the.
It has to be further than caped out. It has to go ahead and take it off the skull.
Gotcha. So you got to
So-
just basically find a taxidermist here in.
No, it's easy, man. All you gotta do is one slit in the back,
It's
cut
kinda
its
weird
horns
now.
off,
There's
roll it
only-
back, and I mean, you can do it yourself if you wanted to.
We-
But
we
it's
must have
easier
a-
just to drop it off at a local taxidermist and say.
Well, good
"There you
thing
go."
Peavy taxidermy is in Hope Mills because that's the only guy I use.
There's
so.
there's a we're the only county on this map. Look at this, man.
It's red.
That's red,
Yeah,
and that's
we're the
kind of weird.
worst.
You know, Fort Bragg Hunting Club. We must have a big say
Why
in
is
deer
it-
hunting in North Carolina
Why is
because
it red? Because that's where most
that's the only
people hunt?
county that they're monitoring. Yeah,
Confirmed case.
confirmed case. This is the primary surveillance area number 2.
So what is it? What is it?
I really don't
Maybe
know.
we need to get Dwayne Holly on here.
From what I've heard, so from what I've studied, I got into a little bit when I started hearing about it because I was worried about it in Louisiana, but it hadn't touched here until recently. It's a parasite, or it's a disease that gets in the deer and it makes deer erratic and it eventually kills them from their body just starts to basically shut down, and it can cause them to do weird things like outside of their normal habit.
Oh, that's good for
pattern.
us. Maybe
It's good for us.
maybe they'll walk out in the open
But
and stop.
It kills, it wipes out the populations and it
It's
makes them
bad.
unhealthy. No, you don't want it because it'll turn that 200-pound buck into a 120-pound buck.
So if we eat the deer and he's got it, are we good?
Nothing.
So far,
No.
they recommend against it, but there's no known.
The
oh,
thing
it's
is,
Will,
is
okay.
you're not gonna know until afterwards.
Right, you're not. Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I sent in a couple samples last year of my harvest just for to help Dwayne out because he was in school, and I didn't get any information back from him.
Oh.
So,
Thanks,
but,
Dwayne.
yeah. No, but, it's my neighbor Will. What's up, Will? He's in warrant officer course right now for his MOS. So
Oh, yeah.
shout out to Will. Thanks for tuning. Will's a good hunter too, man. Will got a good
Is
buck
he?
last year. Yeah.
Is he the
That's-
one that went out with you?
Yeah, we took that. It took us 4 hours to track that son of a bitch, but you know what? It was awesome. That was an exciting hunt. Yeah. So
Awesome. So yeah,
Get me a damn
I don't know.
chair.
when they were talking about deer, when they were talking about last
Here.
or 2 years ago, when they were like the deer,
There you go.
they were talking about the deer have COVID. I was like, awesome.
Oh,
'cause
yeah.
COVID fucks your sense of smell up. Now
Yeah.
the bitches can't smell.
man, that's the thing I've noticed. Like,
That's how Randy got that nice buck. Motherfucker had COVID and couldn't
Yeah.
smell his ass up there jerking off in a tree.
oh Lord, that's gonna be the next question. So, let's do a survey out there. How many of y'all pull up Pornhub when you're in the tree stand?
Every single male.
Yeah.
Has probably done it.
Yeah, I don't even know if I could hunt without access to the internet. I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, I don't get internet where I hunt at.
Well,
and I'm damn sure ain't
There
gonna
are a
find-
few spots where I hunt where I have to like tell somebody like, look, this is where I'm going because I don't get internet. And I tell you what, I'm like, oh, there's a good deer, so I'm all psyched. And about 2 hours into it, I'm like, this is fucking bullshit.
I get those waves.
Start doing this. Like,
yeah.
something download.
the hunting selfies.
Just
Oh
let me
yeah.
get, let me get a quick like sometimes you just go to Google and search like the porn shit and then get a picture and be like, but once
Gotta
you,
give me through the next 30 minutes.
once porn hit phones, so porn is an actual disease. I don't know if you're aware of this, how far down the rabbit hole
addiction,
you've
yeah.
gone.
Oh, yeah.
It fucks your brain up. It really does fuck your brain up. Like when we were kids, I think we're all about the same age. I don't know if you remember VHS, but when I was a kid, if you were going to get pornography that was moving, it was a VHS tape.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. And most houses only had one VCR. You didn't have one in your room as a kid.
No, you had it out in the living
It was in
room.
the living room.
yeah. So, you had the parents had to be not
the
around.
only time you got to do it now, even going further back before NAFTA, most moms were home during the day. But after NAFTA, that kind of went away.
Yeah.
So, moms were gone. So you would put it in the VHS or the VCR, and you'd stand right there, and you'd be like looking over your shoulder and hitting the fast forward button, right?
You guys-
That never changed. You're like, and then you hear like a horn honk, and you stop, and you you make sure all the blind. It was very stressful. So you didn't the pornography that you were exposed to was limited. and you could just see two people fucking, and it was like, that was good. But as it hit our phones, and then we hit jobs like I was in Iraq when I was a contractor, and the standing order was, if I die, if I get blown up and killed, I had my phone, I had my computer, my phone, and every piece of electronic with me. It ain't getting sent home to my family.
Please don't. That's ridiculous.
Last will and testament. Delete my browser history.
There's some pornography that people are like, what are you watching? Like, yeah, I ain't telling you.
Yeah,
I'm gonna keep that to myself.
You know, that's something crazy.
And
I
I've
was
had to
thinking
do
about
that.
you,
I
like,
had to go through people's computers.
As people like us, like, you know, we're all similar. You grew up. We've seen so many transitions in technology, and media, and habits of society. Like, everything used to be. Like I said, the only porn that I was exposed to was you found that old dirty magazine up in the freaking barn somewhere in the woods, or in the woods in someone's
after
stash.
you beat off to it 5 or 6 times, it was not. It was like the same shit.
But like that was like you had to use
It's
your
like you're
imagination
sleeping
a
with the
little
same
bit.
woman
But
all the time.
now it's just everything's right there to touch, and you can search. I mean, if it exists, there's porn of it. Bottom line,
Yeah.
you know.
It's crazy how.
So
it
it has to do something mentally to people.
Do not go into your phone right now and Google 2 Thai Siamese twins and a goat.
God,
don't do it.
It'll.
Why would you want to see that?
You know how many people are going,
Yeah.
Why would you want to see
I just
that?
made that up. I'm just saying it exists.
It exists.
In internet porn, if you can say it, you know, a one-armed midget, you know, with a horse, they'll find it's out there. Somebody has already thought of it and produced it.
Don't tell me why. Don't ask me how I know this, but I hang out with a bunch of freaking grunts, and there's a website called like Rule 53 or something. And Rule 53 of the internet is if it exists, there's a porn of it.
Yeah.
So you can go in there apparently, and I'm not giving you any ideas, but you can type in whatever, and it'll pull something up from the internet.
So you know what ended up happening is
we're losing viewers. No, I'm just kidding.
I say,
No,
yeah,
we're not.
about here,
bullshit.
honey.
Every male viewer right now is like, yeah, I know that feeling. Oh, yeah. Now if his wife's sitting next to him, he's like, nah, that's not all me, baby. But he's like, yeah.
But
there was a survey. It was like, how do, you know, I forgot, is find out if you were addicted to porn or not. Okay, and it had all these questions, and I'm like looking at this, and I'm like, the number one question is the only question: are you a male? Period. Are you a male, and do you have access? Then you're
It's the flow
addicted to
tree.
fucking
Yeah.
porn. Like I have to seriously go through what was that? Did you ever watch that show Californication by chance?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, remember when Charlie Runkle, where he went back and he was only watching 80s porn?
No, I don't remember that.
Yeah, so he was getting desensitized because they covered this very thing we're talking about. It's not like I made this or we made this up. He was watching so much pornography, and the more you watch, the harder it gets and the crazier it gets. And then you get in bed and you realize that most women don't want to do the stuff that porn stars are doing.
Yeah.
You know? So you have to desensitize your brain. So he was watching them like
Actually just
Debbie
had
Does Dallas and stuff
I
like
had
that.
a little epiphany real quick. I wonder if internet porn, obviously it has to contribute to a lot of infidelity of married couples and
Yes.
people been together because you're not
Yes.
satisfied anymore.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah, I know
man.
this firsthand because when I owned a bar, and I'm not that that's relevant, but the bartender was having a problem because her husband was always watching porn, and this porn that he was watching was like Brazzers, which is pretty hardcore. Yeah. And she was like, you know, I'm not a. Look, Jonathan's like, my wife's watching this.
I don't watch it. My wife probably watches it more than I do.
So she was like, I don't mind some of it, but the more he watches, the more hardcore it was getting. And so when she didn't want to do that, he wasn't interested. So that it does. And it also has contributed to like males. Like when I was a teenager, when I turned 13, I had a black book. You know, because we didn't have phones. We had to write everything down. You know, I go to the skating rink, and I was trying to get phone numbers, and I had girlfriends, and my whole mission was to, you know, hey, smell my fingers. You know what I'm saying? That was the first step. You know what I mean? And so, and I was a gentleman. Don't get me wrong. I had girlfriends, and I wasn't like a dog or nothing like that. I'm not trying to play myself like I was too short, the pimp, but I was motivated to have sexual activity. Nowadays, these dudes play video games. They watch porn. They don't go outside. They don't fucking meet anybody. And women are actually complaining about like they don't have the drive because once they get the drive, they can just pull up their. And now the porn sites will. Not, I don't know how I know this. I think I read it in an article. It loads or it logs what you watch. So when you pull it up, you don't see the stuff you don't want no more. So if you type in like 4 tranny videos, you're gonna get a bunch of tranny videos.
algorithm, man.
Did I just say that out loud? No, I'm just kidding.
Algorithm's insane. Like it's like I just hate
Algorithms,
how.
everything.
For instance, what were we talking about last week?
Matter of fact, listen to this
wouldn't even search it.
podcast right
Yeah.
now. We're
Yeah.
talking about porn. You'll probably start seeing.
We were talking about something specifically last week, and it started coming up on my phone in my ads, and I was like, I did not search for that. We were just it's listening.
Yeah,
you
no,
know, so
I see that.
the algorithm is
Yeah.
just nuts. But I just hate how the algorithm.
When you start
it's
thinking,
annoying.
it's when it gets really.
Yeah, when you
worse.
just think it.
Oh yeah, when you just
about
think it,
and then
yeah.
you're sitting there and you're like, okay, I did literally,
Well-
and you know you didn't tell nobody. 'cause
No, yeah.
you hadn't said
The
a word about
algorithm
it.
is so sensitive and
Yeah.
advanced nowadays that as you're scrolling through whatever it is say Facebook, because we're all old men, so we do Facebook, and let's say there's a video of, I don't know, amino acids that
If
you
you
can take.
stop on it
If you stop
for
on
just
it
a
more than
second,
like 3
it picks
seconds,
up on it.
Yeah.
it picks up on that. So if you stop on another vitamin, it picks up. Now it knows you want.
What's that-
You're working out or
that
you want to
movie?
lose weight.
Don't Look Up. Where you guys watch that movie?
Yeah,
Oh
that's-
man, where
yeah.
he's like the
I
algorithm
didn't watch
knows
it all.
everything.
Yeah.
It even knows when you're gonna die, and the president's like, ah, and then they go to the Mars, and she's like, so what was the algorithm for? Like one of the aides asked, what was her algorithm saying? Oh, she's gonna get eaten by an alien. They're like, oh yeah, right. And then the first thing that happens when they get off the ship is that freaking alien attacks and eats the president of the United States.
Did they?
So that was
I, never,
hilarious.
I didn't finish.
Oh,
the
I
movie.
finished it.
Thanks
Yeah,
for the spoiler.
the billionaires go to the fucking planet and they get off, and there's all these carnivorous creatures that basically eat and kill everyone. So
Oh, okay.
there's no hope for humanity.
Not at
But
all.
anyways, back to hunting. So
Well, we are talking about. We're talking
yeah.
about pornography.
Well, it's
That's
the,
a big
the
part
rut.
of
There we
hunting,
go.
obviously, but
the rut and fucking because that yeah.
yeah.
No, I guess.
No, but yeah. So we got.
Oh Lord, you know there probably I'm not even there probably is some weird hunter porn out there, man. For sure there has to be. I'm not going to go search for it, but if you're out there and you're curious,
I mean,
let us
honestly,
know.
you said that. I had a vision of it in my head, and I was like, "Yeah, that's not hardcore enough for me. I'm not interested." That's probably some like husband and wife shit. I don't watch that.
Pop-up
My
blind
brain is
blowjobs.
fucked up. Let me tell you something. You know, even when I've been with hanging out with females that watch porn, and females do watch porn, but they watch porn like anyway. They're like, so what kind of porn do you watch? I like porn. And I'm like, yeah, you don't want to know.
Yeah.
I lie. I say, the couples, the romantic porn, the softcore. I
Slow
like that.
missionary stuff.
Yeah, I like that stuff. Oh, really? I like a little taboo. I'm like, taboo is like doggy style. I'm like, okay. That's when
there's
you got a
some-
good woman. If you got, if
there's some-
if she's like you watch porn and she dumps out a bunch of like rubber stuff all over the bed and rubber fist, and I don't know, that might be your thing, but I'm
Get away from that.
I'm getting the hell out of there.
Do the little SpongeBob. All right, I'm finna leave.
Well, nowadays with the invention of lithium-powered sawzalls and drills.
Oh my
and all
God.
that.
Yeah. Hey,
How much more can we advance?
I've
in-
been in that situation. I've, representative when you're dating somebody and you're interested in them. Your representative likes everything. Oh yeah, yeah, I'm good. Yeah, that's cool. I'm adventurous. Yeah. I talked myself into like some bondage.
Oh, no.
I was like candle wax. I was like, nah, it ain't cool with me. I left.
Nah, my safe words, I'm gone.
Yeah, my safe word is if it's
I'm leaving.
That was the funny part. The safe word was Amsterdam, and I think within like 5 minutes I was like, Amsterdam, I'm done.
out.
I'm good. No. All right, let's talk about some hunting, man. So,
Yeah.
I mean, what are we going to talk about? It's not
We're
even,
going down a deep
We're
rabbit
going deep
hole
rabbit
there
hole.
for a while.
I don't know. You mentioned Mars and space, and
I was waiting on buddy like, you want to see some pictures? And I'm like, nope.
Yeah.
Nah, man, I don't got
So-
none of that stuff.
But now I'm reading into this some more. So yes, you cannot transport. So it says that carcass or carcass parts that originate in a non-surveillance area county may be transported into or through a primary or secondary surveillance area. But so basically, Harnett, Hoke, Robeson, Bladen, and Sampson are the secondary surveillance areas. Cumberland's the primary. So if you're hunting, do we have? I don't know. Do we have hunters? Do you think that live outside of those counties that come and hunt, Bragg?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
okay.
well, Greg Bishop
So
comes
this
all the way
applies
from
to you guys,
South
man.
Carolina.
Yeah.
Yeah. So unfortunately, you cannot bring your meat out of.
You
the
can if
area.
you
You bring your
debone it.
meat.
You gotta
you just
you-
can't have
oh,
it on the
you-
bone.
You gotta debone it.
Debone it. So that's going to be a.
And that may even, and we may not even be interpreting it right. It may
Right.
be, it may be, the skull.
Just the skull, and as long as it's cape and he's skull, and you got him quartered, you probably be okay.
Yeah. So
So it says meat that has been boned out, so that no piece is a fragment or bone.
So
remaining.
then I'm kind of a
It
criminal-minded
doesn't-
guy, so I start thinking automatically they're gonna have like a task force set up on every highway.
hey,
mean-
man, the thing is though, if you get caught on something like that, they're going to take it a little bit more serious because
Yeah.
there's so much like financial well-being of the state
Yeah.
that goes through the hunting, fishing, outdoors.
Yeah.
Just basically that industry.
Okay.
Play it by the books on this one. Another thing too.
I'm
it's
like I said,
bad.
I look at it like the way my brain processes rules, because I hate rules. I don't like rules at all. But you said as long as we don't we kill it in Cumberland County and we don't leave the surrounding counties, then I don't have nothing to worry about when it comes to that.
That's what I'm reading here. Like,
So
that's
then
what,
I'm good.
Yeah.
I don't need to know anywhere else because I'm not going anywhere. I mean,
So it's like,
I'm
literally,
taking
I'll
that
read
shit-
it.
I'm taking my deer to Rayford and dropping it off in my cousin's front yard, and maybe I get a
For new
backstrap
hunters
out of it.
too, who may don't fuck around when it comes to game regulations, because you get busted, and guess what? Let's say you did something stupid, your car becomes an accessory to the crime. Like everything that's
they can
with
fuck
you.
up.
Yeah, they can put you in your boxers. Really,
they can take your
if
freaking
they
truck.
want to.
They can if they want to. Yeah, everything. So don't play around when it comes to that. Like
A game warden has more power than a state trooper. I believe they're one of the, like, as far as not infringing on your rights, but if they can come up and I don't,
Like they don't need a warrant. I don't
exactly.
think they need
I
a
don't
warrant to
think they
get in
have
your
a
truck.
warrant to get your truck in it. And if there's anything that leads them to believe that you may have broke previous game laws, they can go to your house without a warrant.
Yeah.
But they can't go in your bedroom and look for
I had a
frozen
DMV
meat or
cop
something
tell
like
me the
that.
same
You know,
thing.
the crap, you know
Yeah.
what I
and
mean?
your power tool porn collection.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's,
I met this guy one time. He was the DMV has police officers. I didn't know this.
yes.
And he was like, well, I got the most arrested power. And I was like, not more than a game warden. And he proceeded to tell me, because we had a ride in the car together. He was in my National Guard unit. I said, did I say a while ago? This was a while ago. Like,
Yeah, 'cause it's not DMV.
this was like 20 years
Officers
ago.
no more. It's the State Highway Patrol.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're all in the.
But he was
Tahoes.
telling me how he had the most arrest, and I got to hear. And then we were like drinking beer and driving. He said, as long as we're in North Carolina, we good. He was drinking. He was sitting in the passenger. I was in the National Guard. We had to drive down to Fort Stewart, and I had to come back early, so I got to take my POV, and he had to come back early, so POV is personal vehicle. So we're driving. We don't have to drive the convoy down. We're driving my car, and he brings like a 12-pack of beer. Man, he's a freaking cop, so he's like, "Oh yeah, we're good as long as we." Or, in this area, I know everybody. We're good to drink and drive. And then when we get into South Carolina, he'd be like, "Oh, that truck's doing 80, so there ain't no cop." So I was like, "Fuck it." I was only like 19 or 20 years old. I was like getting wasted, driving.
That's a funny law, because I had a buddy visit me from New Zealand, and he said, we can get some road warriors. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? He's like, to-goes for the road.
Yeah,
For
roadies.
Roadies, man.
They do that in Texas.
And in
everybody drinks and drives in Texas.
In New Zealand, as long as you're not driving, if you're the driver, if your passengers can drink open
Well,
container
North
in the
Carolina
car.
used to be like that.
I remember my dad drinking beer and driving.
Or you could have a certain amount.
Yeah.
Even drinking.
Do you
while
remember?
You're driving.
Did you ever see that video? There's a video from like 1980.
Oh, the truck.
7.
Yeah.
And the guy, this is when they like outlawed drinking in
I saw
open
that,
containers. And he was like, man, and everybody's up in arms about drinking and driving. Now, if you drink and drive, people are like, oh, you throw them under the jail. But back in the 80s, the guy was like, man can't go to work for 12 hours and drink beer on the way home. This communist fucking country.
Yeah, I remember that, man. He's got there like a fucking Miller in his hand.
And at the same friggin' time, as bad as this is to say, it was much better respected back then than it would be nowadays. Now it's like
People suck nowadays, bro.
they do, man. Everybody's ruined everything.
they suck,
and it goes even with hunting and fishing. And if you would just
That's why I'm leaving.
decent people, we wouldn't have half the laws in the
That's why I'm leaving.
outdoors.
That's something too. Another observation I had the other day, just with this society, like we need to check ourselves, man. For instance, we went to the beach, and you got the kids in the car and everyone's hungry. I try to avoid fast food, but I did notice something, and I actually did a little experiment. So we ended up going to 3 different places because everybody wanted different stuff, right? And I was like, fuck it, we're here. Check it out.
The fuck? Wait a minute.
Yeah.
That's the fucking problem with society, bro.
No.
What the fuck?
Listen to me. Listen to me.
We're going to 3 places because the 3 kids want something.
Not
What
the 3
fuck?
kids. Not the 3 kids.
They don't give a fuck.
No. Listen.
Oh,
Let
no,
me explain
it's a
myself.
catchlight, right?
Let me explain myself.
Oh, you better.
Let me explain myself. All right.
Oh my god.
My
man.
kids wanted the same thing. All right. My wife hates McDonald's.
My kids are getting whatever the fuck I
listen.
want.
No, we had time. Okay. They were all close together too. It's one of those strip malls where you got fucking Smithfields, you got Burger King, everything right there. So the reason we went to 3 different places was my kids wanted McDonald's, my wife wanted fucking fried chicken, but they didn't have any at the gas station we went to, so that was the first place. All right. But listen, both fucking places, they took our orders. I repeated our orders to them. It took the fucking people, and this is not just one place. And I've noticed this a lot. They all they cannot pay attention to save their fucking lives.
They don't care. It's
Even-
not paying attention.
Your experiment, everything after what you just said is
Yeah.
want,
you went to
because
3 different places.
whatever fucking mom wants, That's what them fucking little bastards are. I almost said something I shouldn't have said on air. That's what them motherfuckers are going to eat. If they don't like it, they can go hungry. I'll be damned if I go through 3 drive-thrus because my little kids don't want to eat what mama want to eat. That right there, I think that a lot of people might agree. Now, don't get offended. Don't get mad at me for calling you out. But he looked at each other at the same time, like 2 black women in a supermarket when a white baby's like pitching a fit and mom's like, Tyler, you promised mommy you were gonna be good.
Whoop his ass.
Whatever happened to that? Yo, when I was a kid, my dad made food and you didn't have a choice. We ate it. Period.
We ate what? And my dad, from what I remember, 'cause I was 13 when Dad died. Just had turned 13. That December prior to him, he passed away in March. When he cooked, you ate.
You ate it. Whether you liked it or not, you were eating it.
Or you just took your ass to bed.
Which I always thought as a kid was like, oh God, I don't like it. But to this day, I'll eat anything. But okay, so I don't want to get off on that tangent because that's a whole nother conversation. But Brennan, the next time you're driving and mama wants fried chicken and those kids don't want fried chicken, you tell them motherfuckers they can starve.
Okay, well, I do that usually. All right, this is an exception. But, I mean, 3 different places, man, and like
Yeah, you're right.
every
bro.
fucking time.
They don't make enough money.
They don't, well, no, but
No,
they didn't,
no,
no,
they
that's
didn't.
bullshit.
They don't make enough
Because they
money.
used to make
Yeah,
less
they-
money the previous
Yeah,
generations.
they
They
don't make-
would seldom fucking
They don't
shit
make
up.
enough
That-
money.
that-
I get
No,
mad all
they
the
can't
time,
fucking
but-
focus on anything, man.
The McDonald's by my house, I promise you, it is open 24 hours a day. I do not care what time you pull up there, what you order,
Yep.
how busy or how not
It's
busy
fucked
they
up and it
are.
takes forever.
It's fucked up,
Uh-huh.
and you will pull forward.
Yeah,
Dude, I pulled
always.
forward the other day for 15 minutes to get my son a milkshake.
Yeah. That started happening about 4 years ago,
I
and it became.
absolutely despise
That's
it.
why people think Chick-fil-A is such a godsend because you can go to Chick-fil-A. Used to, I haven't been there in a while because
getting kind of-
the one on
Yeah.
Ramsey Street's been like under construction. But you could go to freaking Chick-fil-A. People are like, "Oh my God, I was in and out." I'm like, "That's what fucking drive-through is supposed to be."
Yeah.
That's
Well,
fast food.
they also, but the thing is it's an issue with,
But
like, what do you get working at fast food places?
minimum
mostly?
wage.
Well, you get younger kids, like teenagers,
No,
right?
you don't. You used to.
Not-
That's
you
an
used
old
to, man, and
That's
the
an
thing-
old
yeah.
'80s thing that you.
And it was
the
built.
people that work at freaking fast food now. Majority are that's their job.
Yeah.
They work there or they work at Wendy's at night, and they work 2 or 3 jobs, and that's their job because Americans in people in this country don't want to start at the bottom. Like they don't want to go work as a landscaper. And work hard, that you could actually build yourself up after 2 years and own your own company and be rich like Jonathan Holloway.
Well, I guess I'm just saying,
I
like,
had all the money people think.
But when you
Simple
first
things
started
to pay
off your
attention to.
business, you don't. I mean, it's you
it's
started off
freaking
with 4
suck.
lawns, 5 lawns. You're not making a lot of money.
Man, when I
You got to
quit-
reinvest it. You know.
When I quit, at the time I was working at a bar as the GM running bars for a guy here in town, and like I would here and there like borrow like my grandfather's mower to go do a yard.
Mm-hmm.
I quit on a Sunday, and I was in a guy's yard Monday, like
Yeah.
landscaping. We weren't mowing grass. I was like, well, we're gonna figure this out, and I still have him as a client today. I mow his grass every week.
Right.
And
But you go to these places. I experienced it today at AutoZone in Wilson. It took me like 10 minutes to check out because the guy checking me out needed the manager's code every fucking 3 seconds, and the manager was watching something on TikTok or something.
yeah, it's just the
and he
attention
kept
span is
waiting,
just.
and he was like, and I'm like, holy shit!
Yeah.
But then you want to complain, but the motherfucker's making $8 an hour.
I mean, but still, like,
the
attention
company's
span.
billions of dollars. They could pay their
Regardless,
employees more.
that's always been the issue with fast food. But
it's still
it's
that person's choice.
It hasn't though.
the
Fast-
attention span is degrading. That's what I'm saying. Like, it really is, man, and it's starting to cause like issues.
It's all the issues caused.
Yeah,
It's not
the issue is
causing
caused, you're right.
issues. It's
It's
there.
there. Yeah.
No matter where you go, if you're paying me $9 an hour, this is where I can what do you call relate?
Yeah.
If I'm doing a job and I'm making $9-10 an hour, okay, you can eat a dick. I'll get to it if you fire me, I can go get a $10 an hour job anywhere.
Well, that's society's mentality.
Right, because
Yeah.
the bosses are like, fuck you, you're only getting $10 an hour, and if you don't like it, any swinging dick can do it. So that's what is that? Actions reflect leadership.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if I have a restaurant and or I have a business and I have one guy who's always on time and he goes above and beyond. And let's say in your business, you know, I've owned a landscaping business. Always one guy that was, before he left, he would always make sure that the gas was good, like, you know, fill everything up for the next day. He would blow off the trailer. He didn't have to do that. That was like my job, but he would do that. And that motherfucker could weed eat. Like, he could slap an edge on a driveway with an weed eater like it was nothing. So I started off paying guys $10 an hour, but whenever it started getting to the point where I thought he might go to like another landscaping company that was going to pay, I gave him a raise.
Yeah.
Because if I lose him, I got to retrain someone else or go through 3 or 4 people.
Hell,
So
nowadays it's just finding someone.
finding somebody that wants to do that.
Yeah.
But
Which I don't have employees, so.
yeah, so you do the work and you have somebody helping you. And that's how I ran it. But you know, when I got up there, it's like I had one guy. I would do all the mowing. That was my job. And I would mow. You would get out and you would edge. And by the time I'm done mowing that yard, you should be blowing it on a mow blow go, whatever you want to call it. Not like we have to landscape it. We didn't knock a damn quarter-acre yard out in like 20 minutes. From the time we stopped to the time I used to time it. We got better and better.
13 to 14 minutes is what you should be in.
Yeah, you know. So I mean, it's just
Wow, for a yard. Yeah, that's
and you figure
streamlined freaking.
and back then
efficiency.
when I was doing
Yeah.
it, I was like at $50-$60. It's got to be more now. I don't know.
I don't know what. See, man, everybody bases their company rate off of what other people charge, man. And that's the dumbest thing to do. You figure out how much you need to make,
Yeah.
what you need to charge an hour, and how many freaking yards you can do.
Well,
in
I
that
never
hour.
wanted to undercut the entire. When you first start off, you have to undercut people. But when you get up,
I'm damn sure don't undercut.
I did when I mean, okay, so everybody was charging in my neighborhood that I started in. Most people were paying $50-$60. I do it for 45. That got me started. But then as I started getting, now I got like 200 clients. Now if you call me, it's $80. I don't care if you like it or not. I've got 200 clients.
Yeah.
I can add you to the rotation and we will do a good job. But if you say no, go call 5 or 6 more people. I don't
And
care.
some people don't want quality of service. Some people just want you have a lot of people just say, just knock it down. I don't care what it looks
Yeah.
like. But those turn into, well, you left this.
Yeah,
you left that.
exactly.
You know, so
Every time I do, like, and my ex-wife would get on me all the time because I'd come home and I'd turn in the specs on a roof. And I'm like, yeah, we can do that one for like $250 a square. This is when you could do a roof for $2. And some guys are still doing it for that low, but she'd be like, we can't do it for $250. We're making less money. And I'm like, oh man, the guy, you know, we're in the same unit. You know what I mean? We'll give him a deal. Oh yeah. We'll go ahead and get so-and-so to fix that piece of siding up there. You know, just tack it back. I ain't gonna charge him for that. You know. And then those are the people that always like, oh, you know, I found 4 nails in my yard. Like they want a discount for that. I'm like, bro, I gave you like $1,000 off. I did all this stuff because
you get that, and it's terrible, man. And you know, and you're talking about like pricing and charging and stuff like that. Like mine, I know people that they go and they measure all their yards and they charge by the square foot.
Yeah.
Like almost like sod, like 50 cent.
That's too much work.
I know the efficiency of how we operate, and I charge an hourly rate, and I'm $150 an hour, and I base that off. If I pull up your yard, and it's going to take 30 minutes to unload, do your yard, load back up, be pulling off. It's $75.
Yeah.
So, and most of the time, if I think it's going to be 30, we're really going to be there for 20.
Gotcha.
You know.
Yeah.
So that's just kind of how it.
Yeah.
It's
I turned down a job last week because I was lazy. Because nowadays, if the job ain't gonna net me at least $1,000, I ain't doing it.
No.
I'll pass it off to one of my guys for bit, like normally what I saw as I contract, so I usually have crews that I pay to do the work. If I don't want to do the job, I just call them up and be like, you do it. You know?
Yeah, just take it. You do
Just
it.
take it.
Yeah.
And then I tell the people, don't call me. Call me if you need help with the translation or anything like that, but don't call me because that's you. You want to be cheap. You can be the contractor.
Yeah.
Like some friends of mine, they call me. Friends are the worst because you got to give them a deal because they're your homies, right?
Yeah.
See, I don't work for friends.
Yeah. Well,
But
I
see-
have, but so what I'll do now.
Everything gets screwed up.
yeah,
That's when
it can
everything
fuck
fucks up.
Yeah.
a lot of friendships.
It does, it
Business
does.
fucks friendships, but
Yeah. It does. I'll
Yeah.
give you that.
Yeah.
but hunting doesn't.
Hunting does. Well,
Well, it
hunting
can.
It can.
It makes friends.
Like,
If you kill my fucking deer.
check this out, man. Josh Whitford Fishing says in Ohio, you have to debone and leave it in the area it was killed. It's in a CWD county. So, but yeah, that's Ohio, man. But nothing good comes out of Ohio. No offense.
Deer hunting.
They got some
Deer
good
hunting
deer.
does though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
deer hunting
And
does.
can't they?
Yeah,
They
and
can
that-
only use shotguns, right? They can't use rifles.
I don't
Shit.
know if there's some places in Ohio that you can
Actually,
shoot
Ohio's a
rifle,
beautiful fucking state.
But
man. Yeah.
from what I understand, it's black powder, muzzleloader,
Oh, that's
shotgun, or
that's-
or bow.
what I was gonna ask, because I looked at the calendar today and I don't recall seeing this. I could just be seeing something that was always been there, but it says archery closes
It
during
never
black powder, but
closes.
it doesn't, right? You can
No.
still archery
It
hunt.
used to.
Really?
Bragg used to not be able. And I
It says
I can't-
archery closes now.
Yeah, but-
before black
Well,
powder.
That just kinda means
it's
that-
because it's archery season. and
Yeah.
then it
Okay.
becomes black
So,
powder season.
You could
Basically, you have to wear
hunt-
orange.
Yeah.
After
Yeah,
that.
yeah, start
that's
You
wearing
what
have to
that
wear
means. Okay.
orange. Yeah, there you go.
That clears
Yeah,
that up. Yeah. So, what y'all think about? Do y'all read the Farmer's Almanac at all?
No.
You don't? Do you don't put any
I
faith in
don't.
it?
I don't do shit until hunting season. When hunting season comes in, I do keep track of the moon phase, and I keep track of cold snaps and high and low pressure systems. Like I keep track of the cams and the wave report. You know what I'm saying? Just a little. You know, just a. I don't know why. It's kind of like counting cards at blackjack.
See, I've become a Nazi, dude. I'm like, once, like, I'm still in fishing mode. Like, I'm like,
Yeah.
man, I'm ready to go fishing. I'm ready to go fishing. And keep finding myself like, well, maybe I should put a little bit of this fishing stuff up and start getting some cameras ready. Like, I sent y'all.
Yeah,
sent
yeah.
y'all a
Like
picture
100
the other day.
cams.
Dude, so
Yeah.
if anyone
I
out
mean,
there
dude,
wants
that's
to,
a whole damn night, like in your garage,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
Friggin'
Oh, yeah.
putting batteries in and clearing SD cards.
those
man.
batteries, man.
I have like 4 cams. I pulled them out. I opened them up. My SIM cards aren't in them. I don't know where my SIM cards are, and I was like, "Fuck it, I just won't use
I've
no
got a bag
cams."
that's got probably, I don't know, 150 SIM cards in it.
Well, give me 4 of them.
I have all my stuff consolidated, and like I remember I keep an envelope with my license and all my cards in there, and I keep my SIM cards and my tree stand keys in my pouch for my license because it's all together. And you know, I always hate the end of the season because I'm like, I'm gonna put everything away nicely, and I'm like, I know where it is, and now I'm like, I don't
forgot.
fucking know.
Yeah.
I hid it so well, I hid it for myself.
Y'all would freak out if you came in my garage, like, because
His garage looks like a damn tackle shop.
when fishing is in, all the fishing stuff's out. But once I put everything fishing away, like you
It's
look
all
up,
hunting.
it's all and like all my Rubbermaid containers, like above
Yeah.
on my shelf, like one says saddle hunting.
Oh, wow.
One says bags.
He's very
See,
organized.
I-
He's more organized than me. I went in his garage
Yeah.
and he literally had his wall, like he had his baits, like the rubber, and he had them hanging up.
I like that,
all-
though.
It's
I
on
like my
pegboard.
like on
Yeah.
a pegboard.
And it's beside my boat because when we go fishing, like what I do when I come home from fishing, like this past weekend we had a tournament at Chowan. It's a river, so there's a lot of crap you don't take because you're fishing, 2 to 3 foot of water versus 12 to 15 foot of water.
Right.
So everything comes out of the boat where you've been fishing the lakes the past month during the summer, and you put all the river stuff in for your shallow water fishing. And then I came home and my buddy Jeff was like, "Hey, you want to go fishing tomorrow?" I'm like, "Fuck it." So it was literally 10 minutes. It was all these rods in the boat.
Right.
All these rods come out, dump these trays in, and plug it in and walk inside. And
See, I like the way your brother fishes better than you.
That's because he's lazy.
No, he's got that big boat. He goes offshore. He goes up to the ocean fish.
No, I like ocean fishing.
I
Actually,
could care less
I
about
fish
that.
like BT though. If I'm going fishing, I like to go off the pier and go for big game
I
off the
don't
pier,
even- I don't even
zip
wanna
lining or pin rigging. I love
I don't
that.
want to do that either. I like trolling to me is boring.
I just like
Yeah, but
ocean
when you-
fish. I don't.
when you-
do you eat
yeah,
your catches at all?
I don't eat freshwater
bass.
fish.
Not bass. Yeah,
No,
my wife likes bass.
Now,
actually.
crappie fishing.
Filipinos like any fish.
Bass is
Your
actually.
wife's Filipino.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she'll eat any fish.
When I like my first ex-wife is Filipino, and we're friendly. She's still part of the family. So whenever I go fishing, like my
Them
mackerel,
spot
or
all that
my,
stuff. croaker.
Yeah, the-
Spanish mackerel, I give her all the heads and the
the
spines.
The Filipinos up at Outer Banks, Organic Fishing Center in Pirates Cove and stuff like that. When the charter boats come in, that's what they're there. They're like, "You want the heads?"
Yeah.
And they make fish
Wow.
eye soup and
Croaker's
stuff like that,
actually
which
tasty,
is
man.
Actually, very good.
Even like when I catch a kingfish or a barracuda on the pier, normally the Asian dudes are like, I'm like, I know you want the head, you can have it. I'm
Yeah.
like, because actually the cheeks
The most
on
meat.
a big fish like
Yep,
a
like
king mackerel.
tunas and king mackerel.
Yeah,
any
that's the
type
best part of the
sport
fish. Yeah,
It's like an alligator. The
I-
best part on alligators, their
yeah.
cheeks.
I
Pigs too.
We had gone, and this, I wouldn't eat fish from here. Obviously, the Cape Fear is pretty gnarly. But when I was
that's
in,
ridiculous. The Cape Fear is one of the cleanest.
Is it
running
clean
rivers
That's
in
now?
the
moving
Okay.
constantly. It
Okay.
just looks
Every-
muddy.
But that's because it's a reflection off the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Every cubic foot of running water purifies another cubic foot.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's
So
clean
it's
water.
clean.
so it's cleaner than it's led to believe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a
Well, I don't know. They were dumping Gen X And I think they won that.
That's
So
in
they
the water, though.
But
I
you know,
mean,
there's PFAS in every fish, fucking even in the ocean.
There's
Yeah.
mercury.
Mercury.
And older surviving
We have
fish and
we're
stuff
modern
like that.
humans. I think we've been exposed to this stuff so much that all of us have a small tolerance to a lot of chemicals that are in our environment just
Yeah.
because.
Even
you know?
like microplastics.
yeah,
The
but,
average American consumes a credit card's weight in plastic every month, I think.
but I'm still gonna
I literally drink cases of water.
So
out of
you're
a
probably at
plastic
like 2 or
bottle.
3.
Yeah.
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 You know what I mean? I
But-
literally, we drink on a truck. We'll drink a case and a half Aquafina.
And nobody
a day.
drinks tap water anymore. Like I don't mind the tap water. The only thing I don't like about tap water is we put fluoride in it, and I'm like anti-fluoride. I don't take fluoride
I
in
like hose
anything.
water, man. Just because from growing up, nothing beats.
If they would take
fucking
the
garden
fluoride
hose
out of
water.
it-
malaria.
Yeah.
Because the
Drink
minerals
fucking
and the chemicals in the
mosquito
tap
eggs.
water
Oh,
are
God.
not as bad
Oh,
as the
yeah.
plastic. I'm telling you that right now. Drinking the fucking plastic bottled water is probably.
Was it VHA? Is that what?
I don't
Like,
know.
people
Yeah,
on
the
that.
shit that leaches. Well, we're
Yeah.
fucked anyhow because he was in Iraq, I was in Iraq. You would see, dude, they had purified water for us. First of all, it tasted like it was sour, anyways. But they would just leave this shit on pallets in the direct sun
Yeah.
That's what-
for
yeah,
months,
buddy
and then
of
we'd
mine
go
said
bust a
yeah.
case.
He won't drink Dasani because of
Yeah.
Iraq.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we're
Water's
fucked
water.
anyhow. Yeah, I mean the Kuwait had good ass.
But you
water.
know, they finally, and I've been saying this for years. When I was in the army, I drink a lot of coffee. So, they're like, oh, you're gonna get dehydrated drinking. I'm
Dude.
like, yo, it's literally water that's filtered through coffee. Yeah, it's got caffeine in it, and caffeine's a diuretic. But they finally proved. I don't know. I saw it on Joe
Coffee's
Rogan.
not though. Not a diuretic.
Caffeine is.
Well, yeah, but it's so minute.
Yeah,
though.
exactly. So if you drink a lot of coffee, you are getting hydrated. You
Yeah.
are. It does add to you. It doesn't.
It's not like tea.
When you drink, well, sweet tea's got all that sugar. So when you drink the rule of thumb is every can of soda you put in your body, you take out a can of soda of water.
Water.
It like
It's-
replaces it.
It's terrible.
It's
for
terrible for
Yeah.
you. So they would assume that coffee was the same way because the caffeine, but what they were failing in, what they were wrong in is the sugar, because that can is, if you took out all the liquid and it was just sugar, half of that can would
Right
be
here,
sugar.
right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like 30, I mean, what is it, like 36 grams
You're
of
literally,
sugar?
you know, that's another thing though. Is like
Probably
you're
more than
paying
that
for.
because it's ginger ale. It's 36.
So it's 36
per serving
teaspoons of sugar are in
in
there.
a 12-ounce
That's
can.
wow. You break it down like that. Yeah, that's crazy.
That's a lot
You know,
of
I was looking
fucking
at too. Though.
sugar,
You know,
bro.
the
and
big
it's not
thing.
even sugar now; it's corn syrup.
The big thing now.
It's 71% of the entire product.
Y'all notice this? The big trend now is those hydration
that
packets,
Yeah.
which are awesome. They work. You know those? Oh, that's not for
Yeah, but
hunting.
those
full
are
of
only
salt.
those are only
Yeah.
good if you. It's like Gatorade.
if you need it.
If you
Yeah.
need the salt. If you're just drinking, like I learned this as a young soldier on the 12 miler during the EIB. I didn't like water. I never did. It wasn't coffee. I didn't want to drink it. So I filled up my Camelback and my canteens with Gatorade. Bro, I almost died.
It's not good. For
My throat was like seized up, and
Yeah.
I never had experienced like I need water, like I'm gonna die, like my fucking kidneys hurt. So when remember when you're in the military, you're out in the field and you would go home and your fucking BDUs would be all white with
Yeah,
salt.
from salt.
That's
Yep.
when you need a salt packet.
Yeah.
But you don't need it a lot.
Right.
So that
But
you're hurting
the
yourself.
thing is I was looking at those, and I use them when I surf because I do get dehydrated out there a lot. And I notice when I drink them, I for cramps too, because I get horrible muscle spasm cramps when I'm
drink
surfing.
water, man.
I drink
Pickle
a ton of water,
juice.
dude. Yeah, I drink
Pickle
a shit ton
juice,
of
yeah,
water.
that's
but
salt, too,
You're in the
though.
ocean. You know, the ocean's
Banana
dehydrating
with
you.
Potassium.
You're sweating in the water. You don't notice you're sweating in the water because the water's washing you off. So there were times when I'd surf 8 hours a day, take a lunch break, but I would get such severe cramps. And, I drink water, but those little packets do help me when I surf for sessions like that. But those little fucking things, man, they're trendy, and you're paying, there's maybe, it's one serving per packet. 10 packets is like $30 fucking dollars.
So just use salt
That's what I'm saying though. Like, what's the God? Just marketing is insane because like
marketing.
it's
I
fucking salt
Do
and
you know
some flavor.
that every hour
Hawaiian, I like the pink
every
salt.
hour you're in the water, your body absorbs like 3 ounces.
Yeah, so you're getting.
So you're getting hydrated,
getting-
and you're getting all the minerals and all the healing shit from the ocean water.
I cramp like the worst cramps I've ever gotten in my life is surfing, and I've gotten cramps where my muscles will seize, like my calves will start spasming.
You need to drink more water.
I drink
bro.
a ton of water, dude.
You need to drink more.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like,
You need to drink more.
Yeah. So-
like I don't know what you consider a ton of water, but at 8 hours
Okay.
of surfing, I would probably say at least
On
at
the
minimum,
way-
a gallon of water.
I always have a
Yeah,
routine.
gallon,
On the way to
or
Wilmington,
more.
I have that big thing that's like this big. That thing's
Yeah.
empty by the time I get there, and then I have another gallon for throughout the day. So I'm drinking enough water.
I
But
think you need to increase it.
what was my
That's what I
point about
do.
it? Just how crazy, like,
Yeah, I do
shit
fishing.
costs.
I take a gallon of water and freeze it. when it's hot, and then I set it.
Oh yeah, when you freeze it and then it's nice and cold by the time you drink it.
I set it in the boat in the floor.
Do you know, if you drink a gallon of water a day, that's like if you really want to lose fat, and you're like when I was doing steroids and lifting, like
It's actually
we all
more than a
had
gallon.
you knew the guys that were juicing when I was in Africa, because we all had milk jugs with timelines written on them, like we have to get this done.
9 o'clock.
We drink so much, and a gallon. I did a gallon of water and a
it's
gallon of
hard to
milk
do.
every day.
It's hard.
It's hard.
It's hard to drink. You don't realize how much friggin' gallon of water.
It's a
really
lot.
Is. Like even like if you start comparing it to those little bottles of water.
Yeah, it's like
You're
$16
like,
or something.
oh man, I drank 8 of those a day. I'm like, yeah, you weren't even halfway.
And then
there.
there's a lady that just died from hydrating too fast. Did you hear about that? She was
Yeah,
32
you can
years old. She was on vacation.
overhydrate.
She was feeling woozy, so she downed like 64 ounces of water in about 30 minutes.
Oh, that'll do.
And she fucking died. No, she just fainted.
You
Like,
overhydrate. That is a thing.
She had a heart. It made her body just go nuts. Yeah. So yeah, that was just.
I don't know the effects of it, but I was in the military. They would, there's
like,
specific about how to drink water, because you can overhydrate.
That's something with hunting too. Like I don't know why I always like we're not going into the backcountry here and hiking for fucking 8 miles.
No.
But I was like I always have to have my water bottle with me when I hunt. It's
Sounds
kind of like.
terrible about it hunting.
I always
Do you
have
bring shit out
coffee.
with you? Like what's the?
I have if I get to my stand and I don't have my Copenhagen and my coffee, the hunt's over.
Yeah.
I'm
Do you have your little
leaving.
creature comforts that you have to have on a hunt? Like me, I had this weird superstition because I don't know what it is, but a red fucking Gatorade. Every time I have a red Gatorade, I've killed the most amazing deer of my life. So I always grab a red Gatorade.
I would say that's a coincidence.
It is a coincidence, but it's my little creature comfort.
If you bring a red Gatorade every time you go hunting, then
That's not a that's not a healthy habit.
Now,
Like,
if every deer that you killed, you had a red Gatorade, and every time you didn't, you did not, then I'd say keep the red Gatorade.
That's what my superstition is.
If I don't hunt in the morning, which I don't hunt a lot of mornings, man. There's a lot of times I'm just like, dude, I just don't feel like it.
I love hunting in the morning.
Cold.
Well, when you
I don't
take
like
the whole
cold, man. I hate
when you
it.
take the whole month off, like I'm not working during the like mid-October to mid-November. I'm really not working a lot except Mondays and Tuesdays when we can't hunt. So it's like I ain't got nothing better to do, and I get so addicted to it. It just sometimes you just think, well, I can't do it from the couch.
Oh, I want to now. I mean, it's just, but at the same time, like you bust tail all week, you're like, yeah, man, we go hunting. Alarm goes off Saturday, like. Oh god.
No, I'm going.
We're different because we're lazy assholes that are retired. So we're like we're content with our
even
retirement.
when I was working, I got into this whole business, the trades business, because I could set my own schedule, and I was always missing hunting season when I was working overseas as a contractor. It's just luck of the draw. If my rotation happened and I was home for the hunting, there was times where I was gone for the whole season because I would be gone 3-4 months at a time.
I haven't
Leave in September and come back in January. And then, if you don't like it, you can quit. But you're making so much money. But then the money started coming down, and I was like, so that's why I got into landscaping.
Since you've been hunting at what age 8 was when you started?
Oh no, well before that.
Like
I killed my first deer at 5.
Have you missed a season at all?
Yeah.
You have?
I did not deer hunt for 7 years.
Oh shit, okay.
Wow, why?
It was something that I did with my dad.
After your dad died?
Oh, yeah.
I can
That's
see
hard,
that,
man.
Yeah.
And I did hunt. Like we hunted in South Carolina, but I went through that stage of like Fort Bragg sucks, never see no deer. And I was just like, man, fuck this. I'm going duck hunting. And then I got into duck hunting, and then I started guiding, goose hunts and stuff like that. And I was sitting around one day, and I was just like, hey, I miss deer hunting. So I started back.
Yeah.
There's a long, long time that I don't know if it was 7 years, but I know for a fact for 5 seasons I did not get in a deer stand at all.
Well, we'll see. I'm leaving now. This is why I've been like depressed here. I'm supposed to be 30 days out of moving to Nicaragua. I was going to move to Costa Rica, but I'm going to go a little more north and go. I was supposed to be. I thought when I moved into this apartment in September of last year. And my first ex-wife's the manager, so she kind of did all the paperwork, and I just like, yeah, I just need a place because I came back from Texas and I moved in there. I said, I'll stay here for a year and regroup. So I'm planning to leave in September when my lease is up. Well, I signed a 15-month lease, which makes it a little cheaper. She hooked me up. I mean, what am I going to do? So that pushed me out till November. So now all my plans have culminated to I'm supposed to be 30 days out from moving now, but I'm 3 months out. So what the fuck do I do? I can't sleep all day. But I'm saying between now, I got a lot of stuff I need to take care of. That's why I couldn't go surfing today. I couldn't go surfing yesterday. You know, I got stuff to do. And you were like, "Oh, you're missing the waves." I'm like, "Motherfucker, I would."
I know.
Like you,
It just sucks because like the
He's
thing
like,
about
"Oh,
surfing
you
is
should be down here." So I'm like, "I totally would, asshole." Thanks for pointing out the fact that you can do whatever you want. And
Yeah, appreciate all that.
like it's not like we argued, and I was like, "It's gonna suck tomorrow," you know. Then you
I'm
can
just
say
joshing
that.
you, man. You
I
know.
know.
Yeah.
I'm just.
Are
I'm
y'all going
fucking
to
with
scout
you.
the weekend?
I am.
Are you?
Yeah.
I might.
You're lazy.
Dude, I've been looking forward to this.
So what? You
I've
get
been
your
looking
damn-
forward to fucking hunting season since what, January 2nd last year? When I was
Yeah.
driving out of the woods that
Well-
last night. I was like, damn it.
I do that. I kind of get deer pressure or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But I know
Deer
fishing is like right around the corner.
See, I'm not-
So I get jacked for it.
I'm not a fishing dude at all, man.
I
I
don't
used
know
to
if
be.
I'm not really good at fishing. I just like the competition.
Just like it, yeah.
I just
Yeah.
love competition.
Yeah.
I used to love fishing because that was the first. Actually, the one thing my dad did teach me as a young age was how to fish,
Yeah.
and that was one thing that he and I always did together. We fished off a pier in San
If it's
Francisco.
convenient,
But
I'll go fishing in a lake or something. Like if
It
I
teaches
live on a
patience.
lake or
Yeah.
you know I'm close, but
Yeah.
to fish successfully, most of the prep work. Fish are caught in the garage. You ever heard that expression? Like you got all your tackle, especially
Oh,
when you're
yeah,
fishing
a
for
lot
big
of
game
prep.
off of a pier.
Yeah.
You like especially kingfishers. And BT was here tonight. Because he kingfishes or pen rigs. You got to make most guys make your own like rigs and you set everything up so you really catch everything from your garage. You get for freshwater fish. I ain't doing that. Like freshwater fish, I'll grab a ham, hot dogs or
Yum dinger.
bread, or if I've got a lure and it's a nice lake. But I'm not eating the fish. I don't really. It's always mosquito-y and the water smells like shit.
It can be cold too.
Yeah.
yeah,
I used to freshwater. I used to bass fish. I was into that for a while, and then I got hooked on saltwater fish. But mainly because you can go out on a boat and you can troll and you can catch a kingfish. All right, you can go out on a lake in your boat and you can catch a bass and all that. But if I catch a kingfish that's like 35, 40 pounds off the pier, I'm just cool. It's kind of like killing a deer with a bow. I'm cooler than you are. It's a lot harder. It takes a lot more work.
I don't think
So
it's
I'm
harder.
cooler than you.
I don't think it's harder. I think in public fishing.
No, it's. Have you ever pen rigged off a pier?
Oh yeah.
It's hard.
I mean, I grew up in the ocean.
You gotta
I
like
just-
catch your
I
own
think that's why-
bait. You spend the
I think
whole
that's why I
time.
don't like it, but I just bass fishing to me. There's a challenge there because, especially now, because there's so many people doing it. It's
Yeah.
hard. Like
It's a
fishing
thing.
is harder.
bass fishing is a thing now. Man.
Yeah,
Like,
and
there's a
it's-
whole fucking
it's-
industry around it. You know?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, there is.
It's a multi-billion dollar.
Colleges have bass fishing
Collegiate,
teams.
you can go
yeah.
to, you can go to college on scholarships, and there's
Yeah.
a lot you can do in that industry, even if you don't become a professional fisherman.
And you got the damn money. You can drive down the middle of a fucking lake and get a goddamn sonar map out of the entire lake.
Oh, yeah.
Used to be like right in your little area, little fish finder,
No,
little
I can take-
block.
I've
You
got
can
a-
see the fish now.
Yeah, I can take my trolling motor and point a transducer and watch fish swimming.
Yeah.
I mean, it's it's stupid, but that has made fishing harder because now the common fisherman, like the average guy that's half-ass decent, that can throw a rod and reel, he's like, well, I just scan this thing around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's made it harder. So now you have to figure out little tricks and little ways.
There's
to
nothing
my
like
kids-
getting all pumped up to go up to like Sharon Harris or something when I have my boat and I have all my damn lures that I bought and all this stuff, and you get out there and 2 hours, 3 hours into it, the kids are fucking bored shitless, want to go swimming. I ain't caught nothing.
my kids like to fish. Thankfully, like they love it. They actually were out. I'm proud of them because you talk about them being shitheads earlier, but they went out today and just.
I never
fucking,
called your kids
I'm just
shitheads.
like
Call them
about
bastards.
me being
I said them
accommodate
that. I
that.
don't mean that.
Yeah.
Hey,
bastards.
okay, they call them shitheads.
Well, I call them
They
shitheads all the
bastards.
time, so I'll call them shithead. But anyways, they were all out. They went out and they've been, we have retention ponds in our neighborhood, and there's some fucking big old bass in there, man.
Yeah,
And
because they
do you
never
live
get
at?
fished.
Hope Mill. Oh well, shit. Yeah, we're on air. I live in an area near a farm. If you know the local farms in Hope Mill,
No, all of them.
okay, Galbury. I live near Galbury Farm.
Okay,
So.
yeah, that was
Yeah,
my
yeah.
godfather. The
Oh
house,
shit!
The house on
yeah,
the corner.
I know exactly that one. Yep,
Yeah.
right there, the huge one with the freaking like pool, or on the corner there,
Yeah, on the
where the
corner
pond
where-
is.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just in case we got any hate.
That's,
Go, they,
where do you think his trust fund comes from? All the land is
I
grandparents.
don't
and
have a trust fund. You live by the solar farm.
yeah. Yeah. So I live in one of those, those newer subdivisions over there. But there's a couple of really good, like, dude, fucking my son Brandon caught a catfish that was like that big, channel
Yeah.
cat. And,
Dude, I watched a guy catch a big ass catfish out of somebody's pool that hadn't been like a house that had been abandoned.
oh shit.
Really?
It was like a TikTok thing. I don't know if he put it in there, but
Probably, dude.
I don't
There's
know,
so much
because-
bullshit on the goddamn
Yeah,
internet,
I know,
man.
they're-
Fuck.
it's stupid stuff.
yeah, but
Yeah.
you leave a pool, standing water is going to
What's he-
produce
what's
something.
What's he eating?
You know what clout is?
Bugs
you
and
ever heard the term
frogs.
clout
Not a cat.
before?
Yeah.
People do anything on the internet. Like
I
you'll
don't
see
know.
those videos where like the
There's a
dude's coming
reten-
around the pillar and this guy has a big old freaking red snapper on his line.
Where
If
does
you
the
look-
carp come
If you look
from
at
in
the fish isn't moving because that fool went and bought a fucking red snapper, pretended to catch a fish so he could put it on fucking TikTok
But
and
I'm
get a
saying
million
I got a
views.
retention pond in my apartment complex, and some dude caught a fucking carp that was like that big. Where'd the carp come from?
Well, the carp can survive. The carp eggs can be on like a heron or a
Yeah.
some
Right,
birds
yeah.
can,
So
yeah.
that's what I'm
And when it
saying.
get- the carp can survive in that environment because it's
He could've caught a catfish out of
it
a
feeds
pool.
on vegetation, algae, different things like that. But like a catfish that has to have meat, other fish.
It wasn't a catfish; it was a bass.
Oh.
How's
In the
the
retention
bass
pond
get
or
there?
in the pool?
It was in a pool. It was like one of those
Same,
big.
You said
same,
catfish.
same difference. Still,
Did I
still-
say catfish?
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
it's still a predatory fish.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it
yeah.
Or
has
carp.
to-
Carp.
Yeah, it has to have
Yeah.
something to
Whatever.
eat off of.
Yeah.
They can't survive off of grass.
What the fuck is carp eating? Just like
Grass.
and
Yeah,
stuff?
algae and grass.
carp.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so they can
okay.
survive.
Which
in
people
something
eat
like
carp. I would never was into it, man. But yeah, Iraq they love carp in the title. They used to,
That's, yeah, they that's like their
That's 'cause
in
they
Baghdad.
Don't have, they don't
That's
have crappie.
that's
Yeah.
their fish.
Some
I don't
people-
I don't like crappie either. Here's the thing about freshwater fish. Okay, being from the south, been to a fish fry. The catfish, the crappie, the bass, the brim, everything's cooked in the same grease. It's all
I eat crappie. That's it.
it all
another-
tastes the same to me when it's fried in the same fucking lard or Crisco
I don't
vegetable
know-
oil.
I don't know if there's I'll eat if I'm like at my buddies we'll like if we're out of town fishing hey man let's everybody bring fish and we'll fry in the parking lot of the hotel or the house we're staying at or something like that.
Yeah.
I'll eat the bass just because my buddy just,
Yeah, I mean,
brought it.
I'll eat anything.
But as far as enjoying it, crappie is the only thing for it.
now, when
Crappie's
I
good
went
stuff.
bow, you ever been bow fishing?
Panfish.
Bow fishing's
Bow
fucking
fishing sounds
fun,
dope,
bro.
dude. Yeah.
It's fun. My cousin Guillermo, he set up a boat. We got into it a few years ago. We went down to Santee, South Carolina, and I don't know where we were at. We can't find the spot. And I even asked the guide, and he won't tell me where it's at. But when the low tide's out, it's only like 1 foot of water, and it's acres and acres and acres. It's in the Santee River going out to the ocean or whatever.
Yeah.
But you get those
Wayboat, that area.
those big fucking. I think it was called Rock Bridge or Rocks Pond or something. It was. We've been to like 4 different boat access. Cause I'm like, no, this is it. This is the picture that they took of me with this big ass carp, But it was fun, man. And so we killed a couple of big catfish. I'm talking big old fucking catfish. And the guy skinned it up and brought it home. And I made some catfish nuggets with that Autry, House of
It's
Autry.
decent. Like
Yeah.
It was good, man.
Catfish is good if you know how to do it right.
After
man.
it was
you
like
have to do it in small nuggets.
I
To
soak
me,
it in
buttermilk or
in
a lot of people do Texas Pete.
soak it in Arm & Hammer baking soda water.
yeah.
That pulls all the fucking muddy, fishy, and cut the bloodlines out. See, I didn't know
Yeah,
about cutting
that's
the
the big one.
bloodline out of a fish fillet until a couple years ago. But you cut the bloodline out, and then it's usually frozen. So if you're gonna thaw it out, I put it in ice water, and I put Arm & Hammer, and I got that from a guy that worked at the Seattle. Was that the
Pike's Place.
Pike's
Never
Place.
even heard of that.
You ever heard of Pike's Place?
No, I'm saying
yeah.
the-
No,
the
because
bacon- I would've-
that's the trick in the fish market because it makes it taste and smell like. Because when you go to a fish market, if you really know fish, now I do know this much, they pick the fish up like a tuna and they smell it. They smell the fillet. If it smells fishy, they ain't getting it because that's old. A fresh fish, a fresh fillet is not going to smell
does
fishy.
not have odor.
Right.
Yeah.
So what they do
Smells
is
like the water.
they soak it in icy Arm & Hammer baking soda or baking soda water because baking soda pulls the odors out, so it smells like a piece of fresh fish.
Okay.
So there you go.
I like ocean catfish, man. Saltwater cat. Do they have those up here? They don't really have them, do they? They're big
I
in
think
Louisiana.
aren't blue cats? I thought blue cats ran both. What
Man,
do they
I
call
They can-
brackish?
They can stand brackish.
Yeah.
Yeah, that down Cameron Pier in Louisiana, we go out there. It was about an hour and a half south, and it was free fishing out there for active duty military, which was dope because the pier was kind of expensive actually.
Yeah.
So I took advantage of that. I was actually happy for that. But that's where I caught my first red, and it wasn't even a red rig, and I thought my pole was gonna
Red
snap.
what? Snapper?
Redfish? No, just redfish.
Oh, red drum.
Big old fucker, yeah, big old red drum.
See, I
And,
love mahi. I love snapper.
Yeah.
I love like black Chilean sea bass.
There's not too many fish in the ocean that are bad to eat.
I love them.
My mother-in-law only
as
eats
far as
ocean
sport
fish.
King mackerels.
That's
They
not-
call them
that's not-
mercury rockets
that's not
for a
a
reason,
big-
but it's good.
No, it's
What's
not.
that one?
I love it. No,
Bluefish
it's
is
good.
kind of gnarly.
I'm gonna tell you my
Bluefish
favorite.
is good fresh.
You got to cut the bloodline out, right? Or,
Yeah, you got to
Yeah,
cut
I'm
that
telling you,
bloodline
I have a
out.
buddy of mine, Jason. That he'll eat a fresh bluefish over
How do you cook
a
it?
lot of.
Just
Any
like
way you want.
no, yeah. I'll eat bluefish, but I don't typically. In Spanish mackerel, they're good if I grill them a certain way. I found the way I like them.
They're the
But
same thing as a king. A king's a
my
nasty
favorite
piece of
fish to
crap
eat is a
fish.
barracuda. A barracuda.
You're just weird.
I'm telling you right now.
I've never had barracuda,
There's
but
too many good swimming fish in the ocean.
A
I'm not
barracuda
gonna eat
is a good
stinking-ass
fish.
king. I'm not even gonna go fish for one. If I catch one, I'm
Why?
gonna cut in a line because they're stupid.
I mean, I don't care. I don't care how
They're-
intellectual
they're-
talented they
There's
are.
There's nothing
They're good. It's like
No, there's
white.
not.
It's good white meat. And if you boil it in butter, it tastes like big old lump crab meat
Now you're gonna boil it.
in butter. You're cooking it in butter.
that's poor man's lobster.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's because it tastes so fucking terrible. You have
It's
to
actually good.
boil
But
it
I'll
in
tell you,
butter.
man, those catfish.
But
Try
you
it
eat
next
crappie.
time.
See, crappie tastes like muddy ass. When I eat a crappie, it reminds me of the Cape Fear River. Like,
Try
No,
to
you
grill
eat a crappie out of cold February.
grill
late
your
water,
catfish
it's good.
fillet with some blackened Old Bay seasoning on it, man.
That's good.
yeah, it's
fucking
all right. It's
bomb.
mushy.
Sheila doesn't like catfish. My
I
wife.
like
She doesn't
my,
like muddy fish.
I like my
did
fish
that,
like a
and she couldn't eat- she didn't
grouper.
like it.
So you got fish that flake, and then you got fish that kind of come off in chunks, like nice white,
Like
shiny.
codfish.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
like
Yeah.
cod. I
Cod's
like
good.
that. I love cod.
Dude, it's
Yeah,
a great.
cod is like the
Sheep's
chicken
head-
of the sea, ain't it?
It is, man.
Sheep's head's good, yeah.
Sheep's head's
Sheep's
delicious.
head's
They're a
If you can
fish
catch
so
it.
yeah, yeah.
A redfish.
I
is
ain't never
good.
caught one, man. I've tried. I
Right.
spent like weeks.
How are you on sheep's head, man? You catch them? You have good luck with catching
We
sheep's
don't
head?
ever go.
No.
No, we redfish and we flounder fish.
Yeah,
That's
that's
about
because
the
it's
extent.
easy. No, flounder fishing's not that easy though.
If
Flounder.
you ever want to go have a fishing tournament, I'll fish.
Oh, see, now wait.
you
Are we gonna have?
do.
What are we gonna have first? What was the first
The climbing.
climbing tournament?
But I will tell you, the
We're gonna have like a
climbing-
Oh, I'll
triathlon.
smoke your ass climbing. I ain't worried about
the
that.
climbing aspect, we're going to keep it. A
No,
general
I just
bet.
said that.
Fishing, I will bet you anything. you
I
want.
said that. I said that flounder fishing you liked it because it's easy, but then I retracted because I went
Flounder's
flounder
not
fishing.
easy.
It's not easy to catch because they chew on. They play with their food, but gigging them. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
Bennett,
King is
Bennett
very
says
easy.
Cobra. We got
Yeah.
live chat. King is good fried. Yeah, King.
I
is,
love
is
King.
good
Bennett,
fried.
no,
Bennett
that
says
is-
Cobra.
I
What's-
gotta-
Cobia.
Is it-
Cobia.
Cobia is
Yeah.
delicious.
That is the best swimming. To me, that is
Yeah.
the best swimming
Cobia.
fish in the
It
Okay.
is. That's my company is called Cobia Contract
Yeah, you wear
Services.
necklace on? No, you only wear when you
No,
work.
I have
Yeah.
but I have a king mackerel, a gold king mackerel
Yeah.
on my thing.
That, cobia to me is cobia and I don't know. To me, I don't know if there's another one that compares.
You ever had parrotfish? Parrotfish is amazing.
I've had hog snapper. which is
Hog
very-
snapper, that is the best fish I've ever
Yeah.
had, and I've only ever had it once, and I can never find it. It
Well, it's
literally
because it's
only
a spear
eats.
fish for the most part.
Yeah.
Eats
Oh.
crustaceans.
But you can get it down in South
Yeah,
Florida
that kind
a
of. That's
lot.
like sheep's head and parrotfish.
And someone told me I went to a forum in Nicaragua and Popoyo where I'm moving to, so I'm already meeting people. Of
course you are.
I'm
I know,
already,
you're
I'm
the
already
local-
trying
yep,
to make
buddies-
friends with the
buddies,
damn
yep.
the local shaper down there. Getting
Yep.
a board made and a like replica
Heck
of your
yeah.
fish.
That's awesome.
Oh
yeah, I'll send you the measurements on that.
But they were one guy told me that on for a certain time of year they get those fucking hognose snapper.
Ooh.
Those
You're gonna get into
are-
spearfishing down there, dude.
Oh yeah,
Guarantee it.
oh yeah, fishing,
better.
surfing. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
spearfishing.
Spearfishing is
I'm
fucking
bringing.
awesome.
I'm bringing 2 fishing poles. I'm gonna bring my Van Stall reel. I'm gonna bring
Get a
my
Hawaiian sling,
12-foot. My surf caster. I don't know if you know about.
Yeah.
I had a
grew up
reel.
at the beach.
I had
know
a
all that
reel
stuff. That's
built
why I don't
by.
like it.
Do you know who? Is it Tommy Farmer? Do you know who that name? Do you know that name? Well, he used to be, or he is, or he is. They have casting competitions.
Yeah.
Now, he was like a world champion caster. And the guy who builds his reels, I found out through like web forums who it was, and I emailed him and I said, "Look, I want a reel." And so he's like, "All right, I think I'll pay like $400." He basically takes a Penn Fathom 12, 14, and he takes it apart and he puts all these special bearings in it.
It's
And I'm like so fucking ready to cast this thing.
ceramic bearings,
Yeah,
probably.
ceramic bearings. And I go to throw this thing and burns in there, blows
Oh
up.
God.
It's spinning, so it's casting. I literally used to go out to Fort Bragg out in the northeastern
Wahoo. Yeah. Sorry.
area and practice my cat because some guys,
Wahoo's good too.
yeah. Well, I love,
Josh said Wahoo is damn good. Who
said
Wahoo's
that?
okay.
Josh.
Wahoo
Whitford.
is
No, Wahoo is so fucking bomb. The Hawaiians have a word for that fish, and it's called ono, which literally means
Ono.
delicious in
Yeah.
Hawaiian. Yeah.
I had the Wahoo to me are fun to fish and catch. The meat to me reminded me of like swordfish. Like I
Yeah.
said, I like my
I love
fish to be.
swordfish, man.
That's more like a meat. Like a swordfish is almost like when I was in Africa, I had 4 pork chops and I went back to get more and I said, "No, I'll have another pork chop." It was swordfish.
Swordfish,
Yeah.
grilled swordfish.
It was just cooked.
I mean, you eat 4 fucking fillets of swordfish. That's enough mercury for the next 2 years of your life.
Yeah.
Your hair starts falling out.
No,
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you, when I worked on those drilling rigs, those
Wahoo
boats that you
is
saw
bomb.
the picture of,
Yeah.
and we'd have like every Friday they had a picnic or steaks outside, and you could throw your trash, your steak bones, it didn't matter, bread, carrots, whatever. You throw it off the edge of the boat, and these fish would come out.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
millions of these yellowfin tuna just tearing it up.
Oh, God.
And they wouldn't. The company that I was contracted to work for, they didn't allow fishing off the boat because they didn't want the fishing line getting caught up in the trolling motors, essentially, which are like 5 stories. Imagine a trolling motor that's like
a propeller to a freaking
yeah, like it ain't gonna
They're
hurt that
50
damn
foot
thing.
tall.
It's fucking huge. The motors in these, they're like big freaking diesel motors, and I don't know. They just didn't want us having any fun because that would have been the best job of my
Dude,
life.
you hear stories that
I was doing security on a boat.
yeah, some dude falling over.
No,
fishing.
because every other boat, like I worked for a company called Pacific Drilling, and they contracted to like, I don't want to get into the whole scale, but like Exxon don't own the boats. There's companies own the boat, they contract, kind of like a truck driver. And the one company that we worked for, everybody else that worked for like the other Sea Drill and all that, they were all fishing, and they had a great time. They sending me pictures of like these big old fucking yellowfin tunas that weigh like 50 pounds,
Yeah, buddy got the shitty.
Yeah, that was the worst job I ever had, bro.
Like my buddies who worked on, like, a lot of dudes that were at Fort Polk that decided to stay locally would definitely go into like oil rig work after.
Yeah, there's big money in it.
So, and a lot of them are fishermen. Most people stationed in Louisiana by choice are really avid hunters and fishermen.
The fishing.
There's
down
actually-
there, the fishing. Especially the inland fishing. It's the best fishery there is when it comes to.
I mean, when it
it's
comes to any
amazing.
kind of hunting, really.
And their deer hunting has real good lately, but their fowl, like winged
Yes.
is
Phenomenal.
incredible down there.
And
The
that's
only
what
problem is you got to live there, and I
not a
don't
bad
have a
place,
lot of
man.
time in Louisiana.
wouldn't
But
wanna
when I drove from Texas, you go through. Is it 10?
10.
20.
10 and 20. Yeah.
Yeah, but no,
10's the one
yeah,
that goes all the way
20
along the
is
southern
South
coast,
Carolina.
like,
I was in
Alabama. Yeah.
So I left
Jackson
Texas
and all
out
that.
of fucking, I don't know, Houston, and then
Yeah, Houston's the 10.
Lake Charles or
Yeah.
whatever it is, and then in
Yeah,
Louisiana, and that fucking state looked to me like apocalypse. I would never want to live there. I did stop in a place almost when I got into Alabama. I had to stop, and I went to a Chick-fil-A, and I was like, "Am I still in Louisiana?" And they were like, "Yeah." And I was like, I've been in Louisiana. I drove here and I drove it. So the times I've been here, this is like the nicest place. And she's like, "Yeah," she told me all about it. Like, this is like the one area now. You go 5 miles that way. I'm like, what a shithole that state
But I'll
is,
tell you
man.
what,
Some of
man.
it's nice.
Their wildlife management areas are tits, dude.
Yeah.
They're open, they're
Yeah,
free,
they're-
they're self-check-in, self-check-out, and there are thousands and thousands of just logging trails.
There's
Yeah.
public, and there's.
Yeah.
I mean, North Carolina, man. I'll probably have someone balk at this. We have the worst wildlife commission there is when it comes to public managing.
There's not a whole lot of
any-
public
There
land
there
that
is.
I don't know, but it's always like, I don't
But it's
know.
like open for 2 days.
I don't know.
Yeah,
how to-
but
Yeah.
the thing is, I mean, like, there's a plenty, but like I don't know. It's a free for all. It's not managed like some other.
Probably
states
because,
are.
a lot of, we always, cutting into politics, we always typically vote Republican for a president, but all of our state is like Democrats. Democrats
I think
run.
We're Democrat this year ran. Aren't
Yeah.
we?
We're always
Yeah,
Democrat.
we have
Even
been
when the
for a while.
governor, even when the governors, like the majority of the people that actually make the laws that nobody knows who the fuck they are, the most important people in your government, no one knows.
Yeah.
They're all
The
Democrats,
president
bro.
really doesn't do
He don't do
much
shit.
for you, man. You need to vote
Yeah.
locally.
Vote
Yeah.
local.
Yeah, your state is where it's really at.
Like, I'm telling you, right? People like the best time to that should have been obvious to everybody was during COVID, because Trump didn't want at first. He was like, it's a weekend cold, go away. But North Carolina, they wanted masks and all that shit. But in South Dakota, they never did. Florida never shut down. Texas never did it. So it's all your
And they're-
local. But you're so focused on what's going on in
The big
DC.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
The
what
big
everybody
show.
looks to.
There are wildlife management, like public WMAs here, aren't there? There's a few.
Oh yeah,
of them.
there's a bunch
Bladen
of
game
them.
lands.
Yeah,
I know.
and then
Yeah.
you have a lot of permit hunting opportunities and different things like that. But me personally, I think North Carolina has the. I don't know. it could. I'm trying to figure out how to say this to where if someone says something or
Say it.
it's
Who gives a
taken the
fuck?
wrong way.
Everything you
Carol-
say can get taken the
Yeah,
wrong way.
North Carolina has the opportunity to probably be one of the better states on the East
Could be.
Coast.
Yeah.
With everything, whether it be hunting, fishing,
Fishing.
you know, in everything in between. But like South Carolina, dude, I can go to the beach and drive 30 minutes and catch every flounder I want. Keep them,
Right.
bring them home.
Oh.
Yeah.
I can walk across.
North Carolina is
I
like
can
a
walk
very
across a
two-week
friggin'
window.
line and I can fish for
And there
2
hasn't been a
weeks and
season
keep
for, what,
one.
3
Yeah.
years?
Well,
Yeah.
they keep cutting it back, but the commercial guys they can keep
They can-
however
yeah.
many mounts of
Maybe
bycatch.
that's what it is, though. The
Which-
commercial fishing lobby.
It's,
you know,
it's big money.
if-
It's
yeah,
real
exactly.
big money. Which at the same time I
So
understand
now you're
because
getting
that's
into the politics of it, you know.
which I understand. That's them boys' livelihood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's generational fishing.
But
in that
somewhere in there, you've got your generational guys, but somewhere in there, you've got one conglomerate that has
Yeah.
billions,
And the thing,
they
too,
buy the politicians
if
to
you
keep it.
if you want to pay the money for a commercial license and
Yeah.
go buy you one and get everything taken care of, you can go
I
keep all
know,
the
I know.
flounder you want.
Oh, I know people that have done that
Yeah.
just for the flounder
Just for,
fishing.
yeah, I have a friend of
Because
mine. he-
flounder is good now. That
Oh,
is,
yeah.
It is, and they're
Oh, I
fun
love
to fish for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The wildlife, you know, Illinois is probably the worst, most greedy state there is in the
I
United
wouldn't
States,
know, but that's Chicago, right? So yeah.
as far as their wildlife goes.
Yeah.
And they just keep jacking the stuff up. But at the same time, they look at their wildlife as a business. So when they look at it as a business, they want to sustain it. They want to keep it healthy because they know the revenue that the out-of-state hunters bring into that state every
Yeah,
year they
yeah.
come to hunt, just like a fishing tournament does.
Yeah.
You buy hotels, you buy fuel,
Mm-hmm.
you shop local, you're spending money on the state level, you know, with their license and permitting and stuff like that. And North Carolina could do the exact same thing, but we don't ever.
Well, there you go. Why don't you fucking work your way into the system and take it over? Run
Because
for a
they're-
fucking public office. We'll support you.
There's no freaking possible way you're going to change what's going on for.
You can.
But
Come on, man. You ain't got. You don't know enough people with enough money to bet. I mean,
Nah.
to fight a conglomerate, you got to build a conglomerate.
yeah,
so.
I don't know enough people that have that money. I don't know, and I especially don't know enough people that have enough money that would actually pay me. to
That's
go
just
do
it.
that.
Yeah.
You know, people like it always like I don't want to go too far into that, but it's people are kind of like we were talking about with the merchandise. You'll go and you'll gladly spend $100 on a freaking hoodie from Matthews or
Yeah.
some
First
big
Light.
name.
First Light had their sale, though.
But then,
Man,
like,
damn
your
it.
buddy starts his own fishing lure company, and you're like, yeah, that's great.
Let me get
but then
one.
let me get one.
Let me get one for free.
Meanwhile, you're dropping hundreds of dollars at field agency. I'm the opposite. If I know people that are doing something like homegrown and local, and I've been burned a few times because you
I like
support your.
spending that money.
I do too.
too.
I like spending money. I like buying things.
I mean, locally.
yeah,
is what I mean.
But I mean, I like going to Field and Stream too because the problem is
Well, you have to.
when you go to a local place, in order for them to stay in business, they have to charge more.
Yeah, which I don't mind.
Yeah.
That.
Which
So-
Field and Stream does not exist.
But I've been burned.
We got a good fishing section now, though.
At Dick's.
What happened?
Yeah.
Is it
They
is
got
it
rid of
open now?
Well, the
It's
fucking
Dick's House of Sport.
The
Do they have
Dick-
any hunting stuff?
Nope.
No, it's
They got
fishing.
rid of all
So
the
where do we
guns
get our
and-
hunt? We got to go to
Exactly.
Cabela's or Academy sucks though. I don't
Academy, dude, I was in there the other day. The only thing Academy is good for is for kick-ass sales. Because
Yeah.
every now and again they're just like, we need to get rid
They
of all
never
this
have
crap.
nothing I want though.
They really
Maybe I get
don't.
some deer pee and some like.
See, I don't
yeah.
use none of that stuff,
Yeah,
man. I'm
so-
telling you, D&K out of Oklahoma, I'll give you their numbers, man. And anybody out there, you call them up and you tell them what you want, or you message him on Facebook or whatever it may be, and he's like, all right, I'll ball it tomorrow, and he ships it out like that. Like,
Oh.
it's good stuff, man.
That just reminded me. That was another pointer on the CWD regulation. Some people do this. I'm thinking about doing it this year, but luckily it's a deer I harvested in Cumberland County. But I don't know. Do you ever use like actual deer urine from a harvest
I do.
from a deer you killed?
If
You
during
cannot-
the rut, if I kill a doe, I take the pea sack.
So
I
if
try
you're
to get
coming-
the pea sack out and use
If you're
it.
coming from another place that's not within the radius, the Center County and the 4 counties that outlie, you cannot bring in deer urine to hunt with.
what's
You
that?
can use synthetic, but you cannot
So that just you can't order deer urine from Kentucky
Yeah.
illegally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can use synthetic though.
I put it in my wife's Scentsy fresheners. That's why I order it.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah, I like the musk of.
Yeah, you put the Scentsy.
Yeah.
Was it like, yeah.
When
It's for
she
scent,
walks
yeah.
in, she's like, "What's that?"
I do like the smell of the doe pee. That
I'm
little
gonna try that
musky
this
scent.
year, man.
I like it.
Last year I cut. I want to see how it goes. I'm experimenting, so I cut some of the scent glands out, and I kept them in
Yeah.
the freezer.
Hey, no,
And I
well,
found a full bladder on the last year I killed.
I
so
take
fucking
'em and
pinched
hang
it off
'em.
and kept it.
If I kill a buck in the morning and he's like stinking, I'll take
That's
his damn
legal,
scent
yeah.
glands off and take him out to where I'm gonna hunt and hang him on a tree.
I know a lot of people do. I've tried
I
it.
take his
I
head. If he's got antlers, I'll take his head with me. And
Is that
fucking-
legal?
on a stick.
I don't
It's
know.
just-
But here's the thing. I killed the deer, right? I'm at the skin shed.
He's from that area.
I take the deer back to basically the same area, maybe a different tree, and I take my those twisty ties that I use to do my tree
Yeah.
stand, and I just wrap it around and hang his head about that, high enough to where if a buck's looking and he sees,
That
he's not.
Are
I
you
mean,
being serious?
Yeah.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
Bullshit.
Seriously, why not? It's like a decoy.
You strap him to a pine tree?
Yeah, just his head. There's grass, so a deer's not smart. He's not gonna be like,
The fuck, they're not smart.
Well,
No,
but-
why don't you kill one every time you go?
well, I killed one off of that decoy. He was fucking coming right up to it. That's probably illegal. I shouldn't have said that
that wasn't on
online.
Bragg though. No, that was at the kiddie pond.
Yeah, that was on private. That was on.
I just really don't know if you're
no,
serious.
no,
or
no,
not.
I'm serious. So there's a spot where I'm hunting where it's all like blackjack oaks, right?
Yeah.
And so all the oak trees in this one section are literally like waist high, some are to chest high. So I'm hunting like 30 feet up with this, and I got a nice tree right next to me.
I might after this.
If I kill a deer
Might
that
need less
morning,
above.
like this one time, I killed a buck in the damn morning time. I'll take that head out. I'm going to take it to the skull guy in and take it to Buddy Skulls. Buddy Yard, by the way.
Yeah,
Oh,
buddy.
yeah.
Buddy's the good dude.
Shout out to
We
Buddy
should have
Yard,
plugged
yeah.
him earlier when people
Yeah.
were still paying attention. But
We got more people tuning in.
so I'll take it out the back of my truck and I use with my climber because sometimes the climber when you're walking it goes clap clap. So I get those. Basically, it's what is that electrician's wire? I don't forgot what they call it. You buy them at Lowe's. They're like orange, like a piece
Oh,
of
the
wire.
twisties?
The
Oh, yeah,
twisty
yeah.
ties.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
wrap them around my climber. That keeps it from.
Oh, I'm gonna tell y'all
clapping.
something funny
So I
real
use
quick.
that and I'll hang his head in the tree.
Just reminded
Why
me
not?
of this. I don't know if y'all.
That's
done
the
this before.
craziest shit I've ever. I've never heard of
It's like
anybody doing
it's
that.
a decoy.
Yeah, but it's
The deer.
I swear to God, if you kill one this year, I'm gonna come find where
Deer
you're
don't
hunting.
give a fuck about blood, man. They don't.
Oh no, not at
so
all.
if you
I've shot deer
so
on
when
standing over.
when a
other
deer's
deer.
think about
Yeah.
it, when a deer's cruising and he's like looking and he looks over and he sees a male deer in his territory, you think he's gonna go check it out?
I mean, sometimes. And if
He's
the-
gonna run?
If he's the dominant deer,
That's
he
what I'm
will.
saying. So aren't we
Yeah.
all hunting the dominant deer? I mean,
Well, you try to.
I kill everything that walks out in front of me, but I'm trying to get the dominant.
This some bitch is strapping deer to trees.
Only if I have. That's what some guys. I know guys. I don't know them personally. I've seen guys. They get a pillow, like they get the deer instead of getting it mounted for the wall, they get it mounted a soft mount, and they use it as a decoy.
Yeah, I understand that. That's mounted, and but you're just like, I'm gonna go clean this deer and bring it back with me.
It's a head. It's the same concept. It's not. It hadn't gone.
It's heavy as shit.
It hasn't
the
started
beginning.
rotting.
It's
Yeah.
Buddy's like that's just God. It's the Italian, bro. From the Godfather, like the horse's head, no deer head. I don't know.
No,
That
I
made
mean,
no sense.
look. It's not like
That was racist.
if my deer's going to the
Yeah, I'm
skull
Italian
guy.
too, asshole.
If my deer's going to the skull guy, it's not a big deer. If it's a big deer, it's going to the taxidermist so it can get mounted. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I think it was like a small
Actually, it wasn't a
8-pointer.
bad. Yeah, it was like a little scrub, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a scrub 8-pointer.
That's funny, but I seriously just thought you were just like joking around.
No.
Like, yeah,
Dead
I'm
fucking
a
serious. I seen
ratchet strap
pictures.
this thing.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I got to do something with the ties.
But
Well,
don't do it
makes
on
sense.
Bragg. 'Cause it's not legal on Bragg.
Is
Yeah,
it not?
I don't.
Why
I think
would it
it
not
would be. It's not a
Decoys.
decoy. A decoy is like a.
No, that's still
That's
considered a decoy.
Well,
Yeah.
I didn't do it on Bragg.
Yo,
I follow all the rules on Bragg.
Yeah.
So
I'm just ready. I'm ready for season to start. Like,
God, I'm itching, man.
I don't know if I'm so
fucking
much
dreaming
ready to
about it.
deer hunt or if I'm just so much ready to it not be 1,000 friggin' degrees outside. But
Yeah.
I'm
Oh, yeah,
gonna hopefully
earlier-
go this weekend and
That's what I
scout
was.
and stuff.
You know, I was asking about the Farmer's Almanac because I looked at it. We're actually due for a decent fall and winter this year. According to
We
the
had a
Almanac.
true spring, so it'd be nice to have a true fall.
fall.
Yeah.
Oh God, I can't believe it.
That'd
Yeah.
be good.
What was that?
like
Couple
last
years
year,
ago
wasn't it
we did.
hot?
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's to me, dude. I don't know about y'all, man, but the weather will put me in the mood to deer hunt.
Yes.
like no other.
Absolutely.
And there, to me, there is nothing in the world better like in the fall when the leaves are dry
Yeah.
and the wind's blowing in the morning.
it's
It's
crisp.
cold as shit, but
Yeah.
the air's still warm.
What was
You
it?
know what I mean?
2021, we had that real nice, vivid fall that lasted for like the whole month, but
Yeah.
I was in pain the whole time. That's because my back was fucked. But dude, I tell you what, man, I just being out in the woods made me happy because
Oh, yeah.
it was
Yeah.
so freaking beautiful.
I
enjoy
like it like that, but the thing is, I'm going anyway.
Yeah.
So you know, if we got a hot fall, I'm still going to be up there
sucks.
I'm gonna
bitching.
tell
I
you
just
something.
hate it, but
You're
I'm
gonna-
still
you're-
going.
I will say this, and you might not, but just you probably will get tired of the 70, 80, 90 degrees all year fucking round.
No,
'cause
what are you talking
think
about?
so?
I lived in the
Okay,
Philippines.
you have,
I
yeah.
lived in Africa.
That's your
I
thing?
love it.
I got
Yeah, I
tired of it
couldn't
after a
do it.
couple of years, man. I
love
needed
it.
seasons
as
again.
long as it rains. Like I found out when I moved to Texas
Yeah.
that I am connected to the water, and if it does
Yeah.
not rain, it did not rain it rained one time for like, I think it's on my Facebook. Remember, I was like, it's fucking rained in Texas. It rained for like 10 minutes. It depressed me, man.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not green. Even in the hill country where they're
Yeah,
like, oh, you
it's
got to go to the
scrubby
hill
out there.
country where it's green.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
Eastern
that's
Texas-
your
Eastern Texas is beautiful.
Yeah.
that's your version
Still got
of
trees.
green. Now, Eastern Texas, getting into Louisiana,
pretty.
it starts getting
Yeah.
a little more
Rolling
piney.
oaks and
But like now, live oaks are pretty trees. But when they're the ones that from around Austin and that area,
Well, they're in the salt too. They're scruggly looking.
they are trying
Yeah.
their
used to-
best to survive. They're hanging
Yeah.
on for
Hey,
dear
they've
life.
been there
Man,
forever.
I used to-
too.
They're like, help! Give me some water.
I used to joke about Fort Hood because we used to visit. I had friends when I was stationed in Fort Polk, and we would drive to Fort Hood for the holidays because my best friend was stationed there. And like, you get past that point, and then it starts to go downhill into the lowlands. It just turns into Iraq, dude.
Yeah,
and I was joking
it was
because I'm like, you know,
terrible.
when you're at Fort Hood, the whole time you're at Fort Hood, you're mentally conditioned to be in Iraq because everything's fucking tan and dry and shitty. So it's like you go over to Iraq. Because I remember one thing, man, when I was in Iraq and I went on leave to the Philippines. It was like vivid, like just seeing green. Was
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah,
you spend enough time in those countries, everything's drab and fucking tan. It causes depression. You know what I'm like?
I like
I'd be pissed
green.
off and wanting to fight all the time if I lived over
I
here
like
too, so-
I like humidity.
Yeah,
I like humidity. I like
I
it
do too. Actually, now
80 degrees, 40%, or like usually in Central America, you're looking at 70. You're looking at like 70 degrees outside. The humidity is usually around 60-70%. It's breezy. I'm
He
gonna be
said,
right on the
"Ugh."
beach.
Well, he works in it every day too.
yeah.
So
Oh,
yeah,
I love it. Your hair is more healthy. Your skin is more, your
it
skin
does
Just
detoxify your
stays
body
moist,
more. Yeah.
it cleans out your pores, and then I'm gonna be in the it's just, you can't tell me, man. The only thing that I might get bored of is if I don't make any friends down there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because
I'm just gonna have to come visit you. Man.
you just, I mean, that's why I'm trying to get everybody I know, like, come the fuck on. Like, I got a buddy of mine that lives in Illinois. He's by himself. He's up there. I'm like, come down, man. Like, he's retired. Like, what are you doing? Like, you don't have nothing left here. Why are you working some shitty job you hate where you can come down and you can live? So I'm just trying to tell everybody.
Well, see, my deal is, I'm 100% on board with that. My only thing is with my family. Like, if
Yeah.
I were to move out of the country, my first option would have to be the Philippines
Yeah.
because my wife and kids. Like,
Right.
my wife was like, "Well, if we're gonna make that move, we're gonna let's move with my
And I
family."
don't
They ain't
blame
got
her.
whitetails.
And
What's that?
They don't have deer.
Well,
No,
no.
they in the Philippines.
They don't have whitetails.
No, they got these fucking cooler deer, but I don't think you can hunt them. They're endangered.
yeah, but I don't know. If
They're like
I
Sitka,
would
man.
even
I
if,
looked it up because I was talking to my wife about that. I was like, "Babe, do you guys have deer in the Philippines?" She's like, "Oh yeah," but they're like this weird. What are they? I'm gonna look them up right now.
I
They
wouldn't
look like
hunt
sick-
there. I would not
Really?
hunt in the
Yeah.
jungle. There's no way. I like it to be a little
That'd be
bit.
badass. But
Like
the
I
shit
can
would-
hunt here when it's hot because I know fall's coming. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
it's around
I
the
know the
corner.
rut's coming, but
Yeah.
I'll
Check
come
this
back. My plan is to come back mid-October.
Look at that.
Looks just like a Sika. Filipina deer.
Yeah,
But they are on the endangered species
yeah.
list.
Like now they have whitetails in Costa Rica, but
they
they're
have
like
mouse deer too.
you can't hunt them. That's like one of their national
Yeah, I'm
prides.
not going anywhere you can't. You know,
Yeah.
George
But
Washington.
just come back. Nicaragua's
Look
only
at this. Visayan spotted deer. Yeah. Sorry.
Nicaragua's only like 1,300 miles from here. Like if you go to Nicaragua from here, you're closer than if you lived in Nevada or Nevada.
pretty dope, yeah.
I've seen those. Yeah,
Yeah, they do
I
look
wouldn't
like a
eat it
Sika
though.
deer.
I bet you that motherfucker's goddamn full of.
Oh, in the jungle.
Oil.
Yeah. Well, you've got
Smog.
you got shit that can
Well,
live.
that's in Scotland.
Oh, well, that's Visayan spotted deer from
Oh,
Philippines.
okay.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
actually
they
my
brought
wife
it
from
over.
Visayan.
There's you can probably go kill those in Texas. Texas has
Guarantee it.
everything.
Texas has everything, man.
Yeah.
You kill friggin'
It's like a free for all down there for
What is
fucking.
it? Pronghorn.
antelope.
Yeah.
No, there's
They're all out Midwest.
No, they got
the
pronghorns in
Axis.
Texas. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
The Axis deer, when they had that
Black
freeze,
buck and all that
or they had a
stuff.
storm down there, and it knocked down a bunch of fences. And Axis deer breed like rabbits, and there's no hunting
Yeah.
season for axis deer.
You can shoot them all year
And in
round.
West Texas, they're everywhere.
Yeah,
They
that's
got
how
all
they are
kinds
in
of cool
Florida
shit
too.
there.
Yeah.
Look at this fucking
And they got big fucking racks, bro.
Yeah.
bearded pig.
They're hard to kill too.
Look at that son of a bitch, man. That'd be
Man,
fun
that
to
ain't nothing
fucking-
but a javelina with a different name.
Yeah. Honestly, places like that, I think they're all protected species.
Yeah,
'cause-
I'm not going because the government hunts them.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
I don't.
It's like the
thing
fucking
about
oil days.
the thing about hunting in the jungle, like in the tropical jungle, is while you're out there hunting, you're being hunted by
Yeah, that's
something
true, too.
reptilian.
Hey, I got
That ain't cool. with
I got
that.
a good kick out of watching that jungle hunt where Steve Rinella went. Have y'all
Which
watched
one
that
did
He went to the
series?
jungles.
Yeah,
I
and
haven't
he's-
seen that one yet.
his thing was when he went on a hunt one time, they shot a monkey,
Yeah, I heard him talk about
and he
that.
was like, "I'm not eating a primate."
yeah.
You know what I mean? He was just completely against it. And then, like, after he went through the entire process with them and learned that they're not just killing them to kill them, they're
That's
they're
They eat 'em.
yeah.
they have
Yeah.
to eat them. And he's like,
Yeah.
"I wasn't gonna eat a monkey, but I'm gonna eat that monkey."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it'd be cool to go, but as far as like living there, nah, I couldn't do it.
You don't surf. But
Yeah, if you surf, it'd be different.
if you surfed or if you were into ocean fishing like your brother, like that's the mecca for big game fishing, blue marlin fishing, like year round
Yeah,
down
see,
there.
I love fishing. Like,
But Nicaragua though, I know you're not going there, but Nicaragua has some of the nice. They have a lot of lakes, like freshwater lakes.
Yeah.
They even have freshwater sharks,
Yeah.
which I think is the only place in the world that has them. They got a lot of interior lakes, and it's like the biggest coastline. But
there's a lot of places where they've got trapped in. I guess it would be considered moats. Like, they've got in these natural made
yeah,
ocean ponds.
that's basically
Like,
what
the tarpon
Yeah.
have done that in places and
Yeah.
different. Like,
it turns fresh water. Like they even have a city that's on an island that's in the middle of a lake. That's how big the lake
yeah,
is.
I watched a series on some guys that, man, where was it? I know it wasn't in Florida, but anyhow, this ocean water can go underneath the roots and all this other stuff, and it's over time has developed ponds in the middle, and it's salt water. So these guys are trekking across
They're
dry
underwater
tunnels.
that go into. Yeah,
Yeah,
I heard about that.
tunnels
Yeah.
all through it. So
Yeah.
these guys are trekking like 150 miles inland and fly fishing for tarpon.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's
That's
cool,
got to be
man.
fun on a
Yeah,
fly
Yeah,
rod.
it's
It's just
really
amazing.
really cool.
And
what
bull
they're
sharks
doing.
and shit, and all kinds
Yeah,
of
and
crazy
they're
shit.
they're chopping their way in, dragging canoes and kayaks and
Yeah.
different things like that. I'll find out what I'll look it up and send you the link. But
That's
it's cool.
dedication, man.
It is, and
I
it's
don't even like to
something-
walk more than what he always wants to go to the jetty and surf, and I'm like, I don't, because we got to park and we got to walk.
I mean, get used to it if you're going to
Well,
Nicaragua,
now
bro.
that I-
It's something
yeah.
No, I
different,
live right on the
though.
beach.
Yeah. That's me though. Like,
You know
see,
what I can do down there though? I can
What's
get
that?
on my motorcycle and I
Yeah.
can ride right on the beach.
You gonna get a moped?
No,
Get an electric
I'm thinking
bike,
about bringing my BMW. My
Oh, yeah,
cafe.
your
I think
cafe
about
racer.
putting knobby tires on it. It cost me, I think, maybe about $1,200 to ship it.
Get an electric bike, bro.
Maybe whatever's. I mean, whatever.
things are awesome
I'll
for-
probably
What are you
get.
gonna do about hunting season next year?
I'll come back,
You'll come back.
dude.
So,
it's a 6-hour trip. I get
Dude.
on a plane. I fly to Miami. I fly from Miami.
Do
To
you realize though now here you hunt every day, so now your hunting's gonna get limited. to
I'll
when
come
you
back.
come
Look,
home.
my family here. My mom and dad still live here, so I'll come stay with them for a month from mid-October to mid-November. That'll give Jody a chance to come back and visit her kids.
plus
I'll
you
give
gotta
John
get
a
out for the
chance.
visa shit anyways.
And I got to leave anyway. But luckily, I'm only like, did you see what Randy?
Yeah.
He was like, oh, you're 300 miles. But I live like 40 miles from the Costa Rican border. And in Nicaragua, you
But
can
here's
just
the
drive
thing.
down and turn around.
Here's the thing. I mean, I'm sure you've done your research, but you might be 40 miles from the border. But is there anything to facilitate you going over and doing your fucking visa and coming
Yeah,
back?
a border
Or do you have
station.
to go all the way to the fucking capital?
No, you go right to the
Okay.
border.
That's what I was wondering too when I saw
So
that.
you
I mean, they're not going to let you drive all the way through the country just to check in. You right when you cross. They have a.
So you can spin and come right back.
You can literally
Okay.
in Nicaragua. See, a lot of countries like Costa Rica, you can't go to a neighboring country, so you got to fly to Colombia or you got to fly to Miami, and then you got to come back. In Nicaragua, you can literally go down, sign out, get stamped out, and do a U-turn and come right back
that's
in
handy. Yeah.
for 3 months. Perpetual tourist. Eventually, I'll get my residency, but just initially, every 3 months. So what I plan on doing.
Damn.
It's
Now I
so
wanna
cheap to
fucking
live
go.
there. I'll just drive to Tamarindo and spend the weekend in Tamarindo, Costa Rica,
Shit.
and surf there. You know what I mean? Then I'll just come back. And for if you're into fishing and surfing and you like the tropics and you like the ocean, it's why would you go anywhere? Why would you not go? It'd be my. For instance, there was a time when I was doing.
Well, you got to have a source. Of
I have a
income, too.
plague
we kind of have a trust from him, from Uncle fucking Sugar right now.
A what?
We have a trust. You and I have a trust fund from Uncle Sugar.
Right. Yeah.
A
yeah,
well-earned
yeah.
trust fund.
Well, I
but
mean,
still,
you don't. I mean, you can. The average guy, the non-veteran, can do the same thing through 401ks and stuff like that.
Yeah, same thing.
I watched a guy. Look, I watched him on YouTube, and then I talked to this guy, and he does this thing on how much it costs to live in Nicaragua. Now, it's not cheap; it's just low cost. It depends on where you go. But what I ended up paying from the house that I got, that I posted on Facebook, I'm paying double that what I would normally pay if I was there. You know what I'm saying? Because it's on the internet. Even my landlord was like, yeah, because it's an Airbnb that I'm taking off Airbnb. And so she's losing some money, but I'm going to get it for 12 months. So I'm going to pay her less than if she booked it out. But in Papoyo, they don't book out 90%. It's like maybe 60, 70%. So I'm paying double. So this next year, so that house that I posted that's right on the beach, I pay $1,400 a month for that house, and I got the electric, the water, and the high-speed internet is all included. So when you do the math on what I spend now,
30 feet from the beach,
and I'm literally like, it's maybe 100 feet, and I'm at the beach, and I don't surf big barreling waves, but the waves at my beach are big and barreling. I got to go about a half a mile down to get like the longboard waves. So.
Get an electric bike. I'm telling you, man.
Yeah.
Those things are the shit for. That's what all.
If they have them.
Well, all the surfers, that's another thing though.
Because Nicaragua protects its industry, so
yeah,
they got a 60% import tax.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah, you get one from here. Yeah,
America used to have like a 30-40%. Remember when a Mercedes? You had to be rich to have a Mercedes because to get the oil changed or get a filter, they had to import it.
You're right. A motorcycle might be better down there.
Yeah,
but
that's Chinese.
That's
bikes.
what everyone does in fucking trestles and shit. You know, the e-bikes are a big thing. You get on them because everyone tries to pretend that they care about the environment, but they're living these lavish fucking lifestyles that are more consumer than anything. But anyways, I digress. So they buy these fucking e-bikes.
Chill out.
Brennan is the biggest hater.
He is a hater.
When it comes to he don't like Rob Machado because Rob Machado didn't grow up poor. I don't understand that.
No, it's not that, man. It's just that I don't like Rob
What
Machado.
about Kelly Slater? Do you like Slater?
Slater's cool, man.
Because he grew up white trashy poor.
No, here's what I don't like. Let me make myself
yeah.
clear, all right? You fucking do you. What I don't like is some fucking asshole who fucking is wearing like homespun organic cotton telling me that I need to be fucking humble and live a fucking life of poverty when he's fucking got like millionaire parents and he's going on vacations.
They're not telling you to live poverty. They're saying be more holistic, which rich or poor.
That's what I don't like.
In America, it is expensive to be organic and holistic.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So it's so expensive you can't afford it if you're not
under the guise of being salt of the earth and down to earth.
But he's right. Shouldn't you eat organic food and shouldn't you use local made stuff? Yeah. Well, if you can't afford to do that, why are you hating on him?
Because the whole movement of that originally.
So
was
make the money to do it. I don't know what to tell you.
I'm a hater, but I'm not.
So move the fuck out of the United States like I'm doing, where that's all you're going to do is be organic. Because
I don't give a shit. I eat breakfast at a gas station.
Yeah,
shit like that. So, I don't give a. I really don't like.
I'm so bad that my girlfriend ate a fucking hot dog from Sonic last night, and I freaked out. I didn't freak out like mad. I was like, "How could you put that in your body?" And I stopped and I was like, "Who the fuck am I?" All of a sudden, like
I said,
I was like appalled. Like you ate a fuck because I made pasta, and I don't care what anybody says. Pasta. If you eat pasta every day, and it's like Kraft macaroni and cheese, obviously too many carbohydrates convert to sugar, all that shit. But if you're active and you're working out and you're eating right, you need carbohydrates. Yeah. So I eat pasta once a week, and I made it. And she was like, "Oh, I don't want to eat pasta because I don't want to get bloated or whatever." So she went to Sonic and got a Coney dog. I was like, "Are you kidding me?" The hot dog should be like what? A hot dog with chili and slaw should be maybe 6 ingredients, right? Like the slaw has like the mixture, the sugar and your vegetable and your meat and your bread. And in that bread, you should have yeast and flour.
Sodium bicarbonate.
But a fucking Sonic Coney dog has like 100. Like McDonald's fries has 16 ingredients.
That's
Explain
crazy,
that. 16 ingredients in McDonald's fries. It's a fried fucking potato.
Really?
There's 16 ingredients in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I don't care, so I never look that shit up.
You're gonna care one day. You're gonna care one day when you're one of those guys like, oh, I got to take this pill, and then I got to take a water pill because then I got to take this pill, and then I got to take this cholesterol pill.
I'll just take them.
That's poisoning you more. I can't do it.
Man, everybody's gonna die at one point in time. It may be tomorrow. It may be in 100 years.
Yeah, but I don't want to fucking die fucking you know.
But
see,
I'm also not. I'm going
You know,
to
I see
enjoy
this-
my life and have fun and do
you
it
can.
and eat. And
I
eat.
enjoy my life.
Yeah, but
I
there's-
like eating
there-
healthy.
There's also things that
I made
like,
some ceviche the other day that was bomb. You probably don't even like ceviche.
Oh
do you?
yes, I do.
That shit
Yes,
was.
I
I
do.
made it
What
with
fish did you
lobster
use?
and mahi.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, I do.
Fresh caught
See,
mahi
that's the thing,
and the
man.
little
is
lobster
I love
tails.
like fresh, good food. I love, but my lifestyle is on the go 24/7.
Yeah, it's hard to do.
It's
Think
hard
of
to
how
do.
much
I got
time.
fat and out of shape when I did landscaping. 'Cause
How-
I was- yeah.
Shit, there's no way I could get fat.
I mean, look, I got like
Well,
white
see, his,
trashy
his version of
genetics.
landscaping was sitting in the truck telling everyone
No,
else.
no,
that
no.
I'm
I
just
did the.
fucking
I was
with
on
you.
the
Oh, yeah,
mower.
no.
No, I did the mowing. I actually worked, but I'm saying I drank a lot of Mountain Dew. It was always in my
See,
Yeti.
I don't drink. I don't drink. A
I
lot of
drank
soft
that,
drinks.
and I ate at the fucking gas station, and I got what I call skinny fat. Where if I get fat, it happens here, man boobs, and my gut. The rest of my body my arms will get skinnier. As I get fat,
like a fucking gummy man.
oh, it's like a frog. You know, it's like a Mexican woman. Like when Mexican chicks
Oh my
have kids, they
gosh.
get like froggy because they don't fucking. Yeah, Filipino
Oh,
women.
man.
Lot you got lucky. You know, the newer generation Filipinos.
I know you're
but-
talking about though. It's that
hilarious.
lady that like she's like, ooh, she's flaunting about having like a size 3 waist because I don't know how to convert one. But then like her upper half is like fucking gargantuanly.
Yeah. Well, it's basically just like
Yeah.
I won't call the guy out, but there's a guy that I could point out. He's skinny from the back, but from the side, you know, neck is fat, man boobs and gut. That's how I'll get fat, and my legs and arms get skinny. That's white trash genetics, man. That's what happens with a fucking bunch of inbreeding. And I'm just lucky I got that 10% Senegalese. I got good hair and good healthy
I'm over
skin.
here scratching everywhere.
You're like, you got
Yeah.
sunburn. See, I never got
Oh,
sunburn.
man. Well, I don't normally. But
When I was a kid, I used to be. I was talking about this with Jody the other night because John, my son, he's tan. I don't know where he is.
My
I-
sister's
I
a fucking
never-
ginger and she tans, dude. She doesn't even like the surf.
I used
I'd
to be
never
jealous
get
of the
sunburned.
kids that
Yeah.
Now I
had
feel
to
like a
use
fucking
sunburn.
Crackhead, dude. I'll be standing in line at the gas station. I'll be like, I got any blacker mouths.
Like my brother and sister were fair skinned and blonde haired and blue eyed. Like I was the milkman
grandpa-
son.
my
They'd all
grandpa
be getting their
was.
sunblock. I was like, I want sunblock. I'm like, you don't need it. Like I felt like I was being left out. You know, as a kid, you don't understand. I want sunblock. And if you look at my family picture, I got a picture of
Little
us.
dopey kid with fucking black hair and thing.
You got my mom who's like 5'9", blonde hair, blue eyes. My sister is tall and blonde hair. And then when they were younger, they had really, really blonde hair. And then you got me and my dad on the end in the summertime, and we look black. Like, you know, the old Polaroid picture.
Oh, yeah.
We look like two black dudes. You know, so I'll post that picture, and the people will
That's
be
how
like,
my grandfather, he was full-blooded Italian. He was blonde hair and blue
My whole,
eyes.
Yeah.
my mom's side, they're
A
all
lot of
Eastern,
Italians are.
My mom's
Yeah.
side's all Eastern European. My aunts look like Slavic beauties. They're all dark olive skin and black hair. My mom, ginger as shit with freckles. Me, ginger as shit with freckles. My sister,
And they're Yugoslavian?
ginger, fucking Czechoslovakian.
Okay.
there's a lot of redheads over there.
Ginger fucking tans. I'm like, you son. I always give my sister
Have you
shit.
had your DNA checked?
I haven't.
You should. You see how much, you know, because we all have, most Caucasian people anyway have like
I
the
know
Neanderthal
My family
DNA.
is for
A lot of
fact-
Eastern European.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what everybody's going to
That's
be.
where white people come from,
At
man.
least everybody's going to be somewhere between 38 and 45% Eastern European.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just funny because like.
If you're Caucasian.
Yeah, my wife was like, "Yeah, I'm going to be all French, blah blah blah." Hers coming back like Eastern European and Congo.
You know what the best is? Hey, do you have any Robeson County folks that are
My
your friends?
wife.
That they think they're Indian and then they get their shit done and
Yeah,
there's like
they're-
no,
yeah.
there's like
Yeah,
no
they're not.
Indian.
Yeah.
I told a buddy of mine, he was talking about his Indian. I said, "Look, bro, don't do your DNA test." And he was like, well, "You know, I know what I am." I said, "Don't do your DNA because you're going to be
Yeah.
solely disappointed." Like I thought I was more Irish than I was.
I thought I was more Italian than I was. But
I'm-
my dad
yeah.
was Eastern European, of
Right.
course.
Yeah.
My wife and I did. I don't even remember which one it was, but
23 and me. I didn't do the okay. So I didn't
think
do
I
Ancestry.
did. No, I didn't do Ancestry. I did. We did something else. I'd have to ask
My
her.
brother and my sister did Ancestry, and my sister came back 7% Senegalese, and my brother came back like 8%. So being that I'm more melanated and my hair is a little bit thicker, I'm just gonna go in about 10% or
Yeah.
more.
My wife was.
Senegal.
I'd have to
Yeah.
go back. It was Eastern European, of course, French, and then I think she was like 7 or 8% Congo.
Congo.
Yeah.
That's
Which,
what.
I mean, French though.
Yeah, well,
yeah, I mean,
they
that
were in
was-
the Congolese,
yeah.
French Congo. That's what it was called for a long
Exactly.
time.
So-
It's a lot of Italians, and a lot of Italians will have Ethiopian.
Yeah.
Because
And it's like a lot of people too would, the like South Africa,
Yeah.
it's predominantly white.
yeah.
A lot of
It's-
people.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Like,
no,
oh,
it's not. It was white ruled, but it's only like 5% white. It's
There's
always
a-
been.
Really? See,
Yeah.
I thought it was more predominantly than
No,
that.
there's a lot of people there.
That's
but,
a trippy language, dude.
Yeah,
Afrikaners.
I know.
Yeah.
Some of I got good friends of mine that are. One of my good friends, Yaku, he's South African. He lives in Pretoria. I worked with a lot of South African guys. It was the first time I ever heard that language, that Afrikaans, and got to know them. And that's a whole different,
That shit's crazy.
I'd love to go.
the way they
Oh,
live down there is you got your white South Africans, and they're generations of South Africans, but they will be German or English, even though they're not German or English.
Dutch.
Yeah, so
Yeah, I was about to
Dutch,
say
man.
Dutch.
and they're
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
They're different. Like my buddy,
Who was it?
the German, Yaku's a German Afrikaner. Okay, and then you got people that just say they're Afrikaners, which I guess would be the mix. I don't really understand it, but it's a lot. There's more black folks in South Africa. It was just white controlled, and they had the whole apartheid thing. If you
Yeah,
remember
yeah,
that,
yeah. I know. Yeah.
That's a wild place, though, man. Surfing in fucking South Africa.
Yeah, the
is like,
sharks.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's the breeding ground for
Yeah,
friggin' great
big,
whites.
Yeah.
big. I'm talking, but you
Big-
know, it's funny. I think it's in South Africa.
Big
They,
cool water and stuff like that.
It's beautiful
Yeah.
there, though. Did you watch that? Did y'all watch that series called My Octopus or whatever? About
Yeah.
dude, that was amazing.
That, you know what? I would not eat octopus. Probably 2 years. I wouldn't eat it.
Dude, that's one of my favorite things to
me-
eat.
mine too.
I
But
but
love
they're
it.
like, did you watch that documentary?
It's called
Oh.
My Octopus
Dude,
Teacher.
I'm a
It
grown ass
will
dude.
Trip you
it
out.
made me cry, man.
They don't have any brain, but this octopus.
No.
This guy spent what, a year?
He made friends with this octopus. Like
He made friends with an octopus.
He was just like he grew up like swimming in this really
Grassy,
wild
reedy
fucking
area.
ocean place,
Real
and he just
cold.
happened to find this octopus one day, and he spent a whole year with it, and like it befriended him, and it became like his pet. And
Remembered him
Yeah, remembered him.
and played
And he
with
followed
him.
it.
They
It
don't
was-
have
And followed
brains.
it. But how does it know? And how does it know
Dude,
how
they're
to
super
how to
smart. Yeah.
hide and get away from those pajama sharks that are chasing them all the time?
And it's
They're
emotional as
super
hell.
smart and it's emotional. And then when it finally, because they only live like a year or something like
Yeah.
that, they don't have no brain. They're so intelligent that I was like, I'm never eating one again. But then I was down in Costa Rica.
They're
last
bullshit.
time,
I'm gonna eat
and
the hell
they,
out
But
of
you
it.
know
there
what?
was somebody eating a grill.
Here's
I
my-
love it.
Here's
Yeah.
my
And
fucking
conch.
theory on that,
I
and I
love
think
conch.
I love conch,
any
too.
fucking person, especially this is a hunter theory, any fucking living thing that's a meat eater would eat your fucking corpse in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
So don't
yeah.
feel
but
guilty about
but
eating it.
I know, but I watched that thing and I got an emotional attachment to that octopus.
Dude, that
and
was- yeah, watch
I
that
got
shit, man.
teary
It's still on
eyed. You know
there.
what I'm saying? I just was like,
It was a good.
and I used to be the guy. They used to be the guy because the way I grew up and the men I grew up around. When you watch something that gets you all teary, you have to choke it back. Like I can't. Now in my older age, I don't give a shit. I'll be like,
Yeah.
I'll just be like, man, that got me crying. But that got me a little teary eyed, so I wouldn't eat octopus for about 2 years.
What the hell are you googling now?
It's called My Octopus Teacher.
I just said
Watch
that.
it. Yeah. It's on
It's
Netflix.
very interesting.
Yeah. But anyways, about South Africa, yeah, it's dude, it's wild down there, man. And like the hunting is crazy down there too. Like
Big time. There's a guy
Safaris.
posted. Where was
Oh,
that
the
guy?
hunting group,
Namibia.
Al.
There's a guy that I don't know if he's hunting. I think he went hunting.
He went. He
Now he's putting
He
the
wanted
Chronicle.
to post basically his blog.
Yeah.
I guess would be picture blog.
Yeah.
Which is cool, man. I enjoyed looking at a bunch of
Yeah.
that stuff. He did a good job explaining everything that was going on.
Yeah.
I would love to go there, but I would want to do plains game. I have no desire to do dangerous game. I don't want to shoot a fucking elephant.
yeah, elephants.
I don't want to shoot a lion.
I want to shoot. I want to do the one I watched on Netflix called the perfect 3 or the perfect where you get a lion, a cheetah, an elephant,
See, I
a
don't-
I don't want to
rhinoceros.
kill a lion though, man.
Yeah,
Like, lions are cool.
yeah, and I'm the same
I-
way. Like
yeah.
as much as I am a hunter, and I have no desire. Like kind of like a bear.
I'll
like,
make a damn hoodie out of a lion. I'll have his fucking head on my hood.
I mean, the Romans wore iron.
I would kill a
lion
lion.
armor
I
and
think
shit.
the way they do it now I don't want to
I
go to a
think they
preserve.
have to be a nuisance to
A
kill them in
nuisance.
the wild.
Well, that's what they do with the
Yeah.
What
rhinoceroses
was that big
when they
deal
become
about
a
the dentist that
nuisance.
went and killed that lion and all the fucking like woke,
Oh, I
like
know,
all the little
man.
snowflakes.
But
like,
that
"Ah,"
lion
then the
was
village
ro-
was
it
like,
was like a
"Fuck you,
rogue
he was a
lion
piece of,
or
he was an
something.
asshole."
Exactly, and they do that, man.
Yeah.
They're killing children and shit
Yeah.
in villages. I mean, literally, really are.
I think it was the same thing with the rhinos too. That one guy that went and he paid all that
Rhinos are
money.
dangerous. So's a hippo. You know,
yeah.
a hippo kills
Hippo-
more people
dude,
friggin' than
hippos
a
are
lion
Yeah,
does.
and next to a fucking elephant.
Now here's the thing. My opinion on that is-
Elephants do
They
stampede.
trample. They don't do it intentionally.
Yeah, but you have to. It's kind of like a deer. If we didn't hunt them, they get too populated.
And they tear the environment up.
Yeah.
And, they push trees over. They're bad for the
right.
forest.
So you
They-
got
yeah.
you got. So if you got to kill
Everything
them,
needs to be controlled.
Plus, I've always wanted a pair of elephant skin cowboy. I got a boot collection, and I've got to get giraffe. I got to get sea turtle, which you can't buy anymore. But you can buy.
Got to get sea turtle.
You can buy it if it was made before 1976. So giraffe, elephant, and I it's not endangered. I just haven't bought a pair of sea bass boots yet. Those
Sea
real
bass
ugly
boots?
ones. The sea bass skin boots. Have you seen
they're
those? The fish
ugly as
scale?
hell.
Ugly as hell,
That's
but
a
they're
thing?
comfortable.
Yeah.
They're like wearing you ever wear do you wear boots by chance?
I do.
Skins?
I do a couple pairs.
Like
I got
ostrich skin? I got a pair of ostrich skin.
I
too,
got
like
I got
socks.
ostrich.
being
I got an
Jamie right
alligator.
Sea bass boots?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
called Arapichu, I think. Arapichus.
Oh, they put a fancy name.
Pichu, Arcapichus, but it's sea bass, and it's like usually it's South American, like Brazilian.
He's gonna type in sea bass
Sea
boots.
bass boots. I
Yeah,
sure
there you
am.
go.
Let's see
I
what
want to see
pops
this,
up.
man.
Right there it says it. Sea bass boots.
Yeah, those are pretty gnarly. No, I don't even like that, man. That
No,
gives,
it's
like,
cool.
Fucking tryptophobia, dude.
It's like
$600 though.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
That's
Well, it's
why
like
Buddy wants them. He don't buy anything that's
Yeah.
less than $500.
I could probably take a turd and fucking gold plate it and put it on Instagram and get 500,000 likes, and Buddy would buy it,
he
put it as a
would.
necklace.
If it was gold plated, that gold's worth money and it appreciates.
Oh,
It's
man,
a good
those
investment.
Are weird. Wow.
They're comfortable though, and they look cool.
How much are those?
And everybody, when you got those on,
$5.99.
That's a badass pair of boots.
yeah,
though.
I'm telling you.
Look at this one. There you go. That's more Buddy style right there.
Which ones?
With the fucking
No,
World
I
War
would
II
wear
fighter
that
pilot.
shit. No, that's something you would wear.
No, man.
I was about to say those are 10 holes.
Yeah,
Those are very expensive.
Yeah,
boots.
but I don't wear anything like
Oh,
that.
Tim Hall.
yeah.
But I finally got me some Gators last year. And let me tell you something. When you're wearing Gators
Those
and
are
somebody appreciates Gators, yeah, I like those are the ones I want to get right there.
Damn,
That same
I never
color.
knew. See, I learned something today. I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
and they're
sea bass
comfortable.
Are,
Have you ever wore boots?
not really. No.
like
I mean, I've worn Civil War boots.
A good pair of boots is comfortable.
There's a guy.
Ostrich skin. Once you break it in, like I don't even wear socks with
I
it.
got a buddy of mine. He's got like stingray skin boots.
Oh yeah,
and
those are
stuff.
good.
Yeah.
Stingray skin's
Sharks-
cool. Shark skin's cool.
Sharks cool too.
Skins,
Yeah,
he said you just can't get them wet if you get them wet and you plan on wearing like if you
it's like ostrich skin. You don't want to
it
get
just
them wet.
well he was saying with the stingray that like when you go places if you're going to be outside if it's like an outdoor event and if it rains he's like
Yeah.
your feet it'll just
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, that's like-
It's kind of like eel too.
In
yeah,
the,
very restrictive and draws up.
speaking of boot, I haven't worn like stylish boots, but in the Civil War hobby, there's a guy that recreates Civil War footwear, and he makes like you trace your foot and you send it to him, and for about $300-400, it's called Missouri Boot and Shoe Company. He recreates Civil War footwear, but it's the most comfortable pair.
Are they laced? Are they
Some are laced,
slip-ons
yeah.
now?
But dude, that shit will
I only wear
that boot
slip-ons.
will last you. And this is a guy who sells it to reenactors, so they're out there marching every weekend, 10, 15 miles. That shoe will last you 20, 30 years.
Do you
Well,
fight for it?
they'll last longer than that.
Depends. What we're portraying.
depends.
My
bullshit.
Well, it
my-
depends what we're portraying. Yeah.
my ostrich
below
boots
the
that I
basic
have
Dixon,
with
buddy.
Yeah, and actually all my ancestors were Southerners, so
the ostrich skin boots that I have are like 25 years old, and they're still in. You take care of them.
A good pair of boots taken care of. will
They're
last-
Tony
will
Long. No,
outlast
those
you.
are Justin's. If you buy you don't have to buy I don't have any Lucchese's. That's like
Most of that's-
$2,000.
I like wearing what are they? Those ones I wear hunting. Oh, dude, you ever seen these Palladiums? You ever seen those boots? They're the French Foreign Legion jungle boots.
I like those. They look like
I wear
Chuck
LL, I
Taylors.
wear LL Beans and lacrosse.
Yeah, for my hot season hunting. They're they
I
look
wear
like,
lacrosse
they're like
boots
jungle boots,
hunting.
but they were made. This is ironic as hell because you know about France and Vietnam, right?
Mm-hmm.
How like Vietnam basically kicked the shit out of the French.
Before they kick the shit out of us.
Yeah, but the
I
French.
shouldn't say
yeah,
that. They didn't kick the shit out of us.
The French.
They beat us over time.
Yeah.
We weren't fighting a war.
Over a
If
period
we
of
would have
time.
been there fucking rape and pillage, we would have took that place
trying
over.
to fight a
there.
nice
we were
war,
trying
yeah.
to fight
Yeah,
hearts and
we're hearts and minds.
hearts and minds because
Yeah.
it was money. It was a
But-
business.
Well, it's political. Yeah.
But the funny thing about they're the original boots of the French Foreign Legion, and then you look at them, they're made in Vietnam. It just cracks me up. It's like that's like
Yeah.
that's like fucking
Really?
yeah, dude.
Well, it's kind of like that one podcast I was talking about. The one guy that I was reading in an in-flight magazine.
Yeah.
That he had a sriracha or a hot sauce company. He fled communist Vietnam and he set up shop in New Jersey and was making this sauce and he made a lot of
and
money.
yeah.
He moved back to
He moved back to
Vietnam
Vietnam
because the
where he fled.
regulations in America. It was easier to do business with the communists than it was here.
Yeah.
I
And
don't
that's
doubt
the
it.
truth.
I don't doubt that a bit.
We don't really know how unfree we are until you go to another country and then you realize that's fucking freedom.
sometimes.
Like when I lived in the
Yeah,
Philippines,
to a
you're not
certain
free. What are you
extent,
free?
but-
What are you? How are you free? Over there, you go to Dubai or something like that, you don't pay no income taxes. You don't pay no fucking.
Yeah, but you go on your
You pay a
Facebook and
VAT. They pay a VAT tax on everything
but
they
you
buy.
fucking-
value
but
added.
you
You'll
can be
post
shot.
about-
Yeah, you can be
Yeah.
shot in your fucking head in the middle of the street over a Facebook post.
That's in
Or
Saudi
fucking
Arabia. That don't
picked up
happen in
and tortured.
Dubai.
Yeah.
That don't happen.
It does to a certain extent, though.
Not in Dubai.
You
it
can't
don't.
go to the Philippines and fucking go
You
out
can
and
go to
protest
the-
on the street.
I
man.
went-
And most,
Yeah,
of,
you can.
And most of the wealth is a 0.5% of the.
I
Country.
lived in the Philippines where, when the time when kidnapping was the #1 rising industry, but it was still safer there than it was here in the United States. Hell, I lived in Baghdad during the fucking war, and it was safer in Baghdad than it was per capita in Fayetteville. Like if you were an Iraqi,
I agree with
I
that,
don't
man.
know.
I agree with that.
you know what you had to
actually.
worry about as an Iraqi in Baghdad is a fucking young soldier like Cook that's on patrol, scared shitless, shooting you for no fucking reason.
Yeah, because you got
Most
scared.
of the people that got killed in Iraq, the Iraqis that got killed, they were fucking murdered. You know
For
what I'm
helping
saying?
us.
They were murdered by us. Like they're driving to work and you're on a convoy and
scared.
and he's like, oh, he might be an IED, and you shoot up the car and now everybody starts shooting, and they were murdered. I mean, whether you want to call it murder or not, they weren't a threat. You were scared.
That's a fact. Yeah.
You know, and so I think that's what hurts a lot of these guys nowadays is because they come back and they have to think about, did I need to kill that motherfucker? Was he really a car bomb? And that will haunt you.
Yeah.
You
Some
know,
people-
if a motherfucker's trying to kill you and you kill him,
But
You don't think
you're
about
not
it.
No,
having
but here's
no
the thing too.
PTSD
But here's the thing
from that
too.
shit.
Like, if you want to get into that, like, we can. This is a whole nother podcast, but I always say that when it's
Yeah.
But asymmetrical war against a non-established army in urban environments, shit's gonna happen.
yeah,
man.
and it
Yeah,
was,
there's no. It's
yeah,
exactly.
like-
there's no established.
No.
There's not
Yeah.
even a uniform.
right.
I mean
Shit's
that
gonna
in
happen.
But
itself.
not only that, the soldiers that were doing most of the kills, most of the fatalities happened in transport. We have to move these people or this stuff from point A to point B. So they would get all fucking like 10 trucks in a line, and they would say you. Well, these guys aren't combat trained. Most of these guys were like pack clerks or mechanics.
there was no front line.
You were over there as a mechanic, but because you were infantry before, it was like, okay, you know, so they get out there. Like, I watched the documentary with I forgot what podcast it was. And the guy was talking. He was talking to a private. They were talking to a private that was over there. And he was like, you know, the first week or two was like SOP, following it, get back, throwing water bottles. Hey, don't come any closer. But after your buddy gets ripped apart in an IED, all bets are off.
That shit goes to the wayside.
And now you would just kill everybody. So now some guy, and I've seen it happen.
But also too, we
The
pulled
guy,
into a place.
he's just driving. He's not paying. He's in his own fucking backyard. And he's driving. He merges onto the highway because that's what you do when you want to go from a main road to a highway. And he comes down the on ramp and they start fucking firing up the damn car. I saw that shit all the time. And I was like,
Row
what the
was pretty
fuck are you
loose
doing?
Early days of the war, man. But
Yeah.
another thing too is there was a lot of decentralization that went on. There was also, you know, rival factions fighting each other. And then you got suicide bombs, and you might have 100 people fucking taking out a suicide bomb because
Yeah.
this one guy was trying to get at this one faction, and that was the nature of the beast. So
But even in that,
you have any
even
war
in
in
that
an
aspect,
urban, any war in history in an urban environment is going to cause fucking innocent people.
when
to
you're
die,
a
period.
soldier
That's just the
and you're in a group of buddies that are all soldiers, and one of them gets killed, that's not a reason. I never saw that as a reason to retaliate.
wow. We went far into the,
Yeah,
the deep
yeah.
end on this cast.
Yeah,
but-
it's not a reason to
sorry.
retaliate because you sign. It's kind of like, you know, if you're playing football and your buddy gets a fucking bad concussion,
Signed up
you
for
don't fucking go and damn burn the school down that gave him a concussion.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
There was a lot of
you
that
sign
going
up
on,
for
too.
it, you know. So anyway, I don't know how we got
I
there
just,
from
man,
talking
like,
about.
just, you know, my final 2 cents. I did fucking multiple tours in Iraq, and like I saw it from the beginning and then in the end. It was a fuck situation. There's no justifying it. There's no, I don't know, man. Like, that's how I feel. But you know, the bottom line is if you study history and the American soldier, we go where we're ordered to.
Yeah.
Like, it could be any enemy. We're gonna go there and we're gonna fight, and we're gonna fight hard. And like, there's a lot of blunders, but I'm not ashamed of what I did over there. I'll never be ashamed.
No,
of what I did
me
over there.
neither.
And
Even for
anyhow,
the mistakes, you know, it's
yeah.
just like, hey
I don't
man,
know where
I
this is
didn't-
going, but
Yeah.
it's just kind of going.
No,
Sorry,
I-
Jonathan.
well, this has been on my mind lately, and
Yeah.
we can't go there for a
our
little
podcast
bit.
does encompass like
I don't.
everything.
I was
Oh, no,
talking to
it don't bother me a
somebody.
bit.
I was talking to somebody that's having a hard time. It's a buddy of mine. He's having a hard time with life, and I know him, so I can speak to him. Like, I'm not gonna say his name or anything. If he watch, he knows who I'm talking. He knows I'll talking about him. I'm like, how many people did you what's the new word now? Unalive.
Unalive. Oh my god.
How many people fell?
generation
Because he was
God bless
now
him.
he was the
On alive.
Yeah.
that's the new way of saying kill.
Or reverse life. Yeah, it's a
it's-
softer way of saying kill.
It's an actual
It's a
thing.
thing, man.
Oh my
Yeah.
gracious.
Yeah.
So I was like, how many?
Exactly. Thank you.
When I asked him that, I said,
Thanks,
how many
Internet.
people do you
Yeah.
think deserved it? How many people do you, looking back on it now, how many people do you think, because when you're young, you're like, I remember guys fighting over, when there's 3 guys shoot. This is what I always say to people. I don't have one, because I wasn't a sniper, I wasn't a sharpshooter, all right? I don't have one unalived that I was the only one shooting at him. You see what I'm
Reverse
saying?
Living functions.
There was 3 guys shooting at him, so we all shot at him. He's ripped apart. He's dead. Okay. And they'd be like, oh, I got him. It was me. I'd be like, y'all can have him. I just know that he's not shooting at us no more. And that was always my mindset. I was never one to go over there. Some guys go over there and they try to, oh, I got this. So, and I think we got to the bottom of it was the guys that were trying to kill you. If you kill them, that ain't going to bother you.
No.
That's like you're justified.
Yeah.
But it's the ones that
You second guess.
maybe I shouldn't have. Maybe he was just going to work. Maybe that car, maybe that 200 meters buffer zone and, shot, that's what's bothering. That was kind of what I got to the root of. And I think that's what's bothering a lot of people because how many people do you know have shot into traffic that got too close to the convoy?
When we had signs on our vehicles that said "Stay back 100 feet,"
Right, but you know how it is.
You know what's crazy, man? Check this shit.
That
out.
changed.
So, started out with "Do not come within 100 feet of us, or we'll fucking smoke you." To we're sorry for the inconvenience. We're clearing this route for your safety. Please observe the 100-meter distance
Yeah.
on our vehicles. Literally said that.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you this. Whenever
Hearts and minds.
when I went from military to security contractor, my security contract profile was low profile. And I don't mean low profile in like armored Mercedes. I mean like we were in vans and
Yeah.
sedans. Okay, so we dressed.
Normal shit.
We looked like Iraqis, and I had Iraq. So you would not be able to look at now if you stared into the vehicle, you could see the M4 on my lap. But typically, you're moving, you're in traffic. So I got to experience the war as an Iraqi, and I think I got shot at more by Blackwater contractors and U.S. soldiers. And I'm talking about. I got to get in there. We got something. IED went off behind us. They shut down all the roads. I got a client. We got to get into the international zone. I got a big American flag. I took my fucking garb off. I'm wearing 5'11". I look cool. I got my fucking Velcro and all that. And they still would fucking fire at your feet, like in front of you. Oh, come. Like, it got stupid. Yeah. So they didn't shoot me because they knew that I was an American. They still weren't letting us through. You had that. Other South Africans, British, the Brits think that they're fucking, that's their whole MO. The Brits, they go to a country, everybody's stupid. Everybody's a Mongolian. That's what they call them.
Their special force used to come here and train a lot, and they'd always come into the bars and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They think everybody's beneath them.
They do.
Well, look at
At least their special force.
They can't
For
help it.
500 years,
I'm not
Britain
hating on
was-
the Brits. I got a lot of British friends, but they always have this mentality that the local nationals, the host nation that they're in, are beneath them, and they treat them like that.
Them fools will come into the bar, and at 2:01 when the bar closed, and there won't no girls in favor of them, they just start making out
With each other.
I'm like, oh, gotta get that out of here, man. It's crazy as hell, man. It's girl, 2:01. They're like, oh, fuck it, come on, me and you. And they're leaving together, dude. It was crazy.
The Brits, the British contractors, they had this thing at 2:00 in the morning. It became Naked Bar. Somebody called Naked Bar. If you stayed, you got to go home at 2:00 in the morning. This is in Iraq, or you get naked. So and then to get initiated. So I'm like, fuck it. We're talking about people that. Your grandmother. If your grandmother was in the international zone between 2004 and 6, I probably saw her boobs. I'm not gonna lie. I'm talking about not old ladies, like women that are over there just doing office jobs.
Oh yeah,
and it's not sexual. It's just for fun.
It's just, damn, you got to have some escape.
Yeah.
You know.
And then the dance of the flaming asshole to get initiated, where they put toilet paper in your ass. They roll up toilet paper.
Wait, what? This
and
is
like
all new to me.
No. So it's a British thing, and I had to do it. They take toilet paper and they twist it up and you put it in your ass cheeks basically, and they light it on fire. And you got to run down the fucking bar, and basically the one who keeps it in their ass crack the longest is the winner.
What do you win?
You just cool.
Initiation.
Yeah.
You're initiated.
I don't know how many times I walked home. My buddy Chris, I think it was him. He's a Brit. He stole my clothes. So I literally walked home at 9 o'clock in the morning because you're in a bunker, so there's no sunlight. With a Manchester United flag wrapped around me as a towel because they took my clothes. I had to go home. I was fucking naked. So.
In Iraq.
In Iraq.
Holy shit! You had a totally different war than I
No,
did.
no. This is contract game.
Yeah,
this
he's
is totally
contracting,
different.
man. It's totally
I
different.
was there as a
Yeah.
soldier. Now, don't get me wrong. I was
Yeah.
in Afghanistan and Iraq as a soldier. I got out and went back as a contractor.
Yeah.
Totally different world.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I fucking missed out on that, man.
You
I should
missed
have
out on
contracted,
it.
dude.
In the early days of Iraq contracting.
Good lord.
Just in anything. You didn't have to be security. The international zone was like the Wild West, bro. They say the Wild West where they come in with their horses and they they tie them up and they go into the saloon and there's gambling and prostitutes and drinking and it was not that there was prostitution and all that stuff.
Oh, there
but,
was. It just wasn't advertised.
But there were some sick parties. Like I told people, I was like, yeah, my grandma was there. Or my mom worked there. She worked for Flora? I was like, I probably saw her titties.
No shit on the grandmas, man. There was a supply point. No,
shit on the
listen to
grandmas.
this. No, seriously. Dude, there's a lot of money to be made in that war. Like, we used to go pick up supplies at fucking, what was it? Liberty. And there was like this 70-year-old Korean lady, someone's grandma, dude. And she'd been contracting there for like fucking 8 years. She was a goddamn millionaire, man.
Yeah.
She just stayed. Yeah, she'd go home like every, she was married to he was a Vietnam vet. She was, or maybe Korean War vet, but they were probably Korean War because she was a war bride. But she was like 70, 80 years old. She's a little Korean lady come out and check your paperwork. I'm like, what the fuck? Like in my head, I'm like, I was very polite and respectful to her. I was like, hi, Ma, like, how's it going? I was like, what is this 70, 80-year-old woman doing here?
Making money.
Making fucking money, dude.
I met a lady one night.
Oh, yeah.
And she was a friend of another friend older than me. I was in my late 20s, early 30s. She was like 65. Good-looking 65-year-old woman. She had the hots for me.
Good-looking 60.
And her friend kept telling me,
We're
it was
in that
like,
age bracket now where, Jesus.
and I'm turning it down. I'm like, nah, I ain't doing that. Come to find out, I got talking to her like 2 weeks after that whole thing. I found out that she had the hots for me, and I was like trying to stay away. But I ran into her at another bar because every Thursday night in Iraq, the contractors, they have barbecues. And if you're a manager, you go to one. If you're a soldier, like you go to another one where they get more rowdy. But even the manager ones, when it gets late, it gets rowdy. But I come to find out she owned, I think, 60 storage units, facilities in Texas. That's a lot of money.
Yeah. God.
You think each one of those net, like, if even conservatively, $20,000 a month profit? She owns 60, and she got into it because her rich oil husband, or whatever, he worked in the oil field. He had such a big collection of classic cars. And she had
somewhere to keep them.
needs somewhere to keep them.
wow.
So she built, her financial advisor was like, we'll build a storage facility, keep all 30 of the cars there, and then all the leftover places,
Rent 'em.
you make money.
Yeah.
And then it was like, well, this is doing really good. Let's do another one. No.
Yeah.
If I would have played my cards right, that was 20 years ago. She'd be dead by now. I'd be fucking
Yeah. Man, own that place in
Dude,
Nicaragua.
that's,
be driving around in a
I
fucking
thought-
Widowmaker Corvette right now.
I thought I had
yeah.
a regret in life, which was not going to Ranger Bat when I had the opportunity. But now my second regret is not fucking contracting. See, my dumbass, I get out of the Army.
I just wish I could have went
Dude,
one way
fuck.
or the other.
But here's the thing. I got out of the Army, and it was during the fucking surge, right? And, like, here I am working at Home Depot, and I'm like...
By that time, you wouldn't have liked it.
But I'm like, here's what my thought was. I'm like, I wanted to be back there for somehow. And I'm like, I could go in as a contractor. I'll be back in theater within, like, a month.
Now,
And I'll be making fucking, instead of $30,000, which is what the average fucking lower enlistee makes doing a year in Iraq, I could be making $180,000, $200,000. But I didn't really want to go back to Iraq suddenly. So I re-enlisted and went back in the Army. And within fucking 2 months, I was back in Iraq anyhow.
Why would you
So
do that?
making fucking $40,000.
well, let me tell you something.
Shit.
The contracting, the security contracting, anyway, any contracting.
Yeah.
Because even the fucking bus drivers, the guys that were driving the shit trucks around, they had a good time.
Yeah.
They're making money too.
They were making
Fuck
money.
yeah.
They were like, it wasn't as much money as everybody thinks.
Well, there's that joke about...
if you were
But
making,
still, your responsibilities being there is very minute
Yeah.
to make what you're making.
yeah. No, it was a lot of money for the time, but by 2006. I would say after, especially after Obama took over and Hillary Clinton took over the State Department, it went.
Yep.
The money wasn't there anymore. It was still there. It was still six figures.
I've heard about the heydays of contract.
The heydays is when it was good, but that's when it got bad because a lot of bad stuff happened. A lot of contractors thought that they were, I was in the fucking infantry or I was in special forces for a year, 2 years. My buddy got me a job. Now all of a sudden we're fucking Delta Force commandos. Everybody was an operator.
Yeah.
Everybody and nobody respected. And so the younger soldier, like when we first got there in 2002 in Afghanistan, You were in civilian clothes carrying an M4. You were fucking CIA, Delta Force, whatever.
State Department.
We didn't know. We didn't care. We was like, oh, you're not in a uniform.
Yeah.
You can come on through, you know? Well, your third or fourth time back, you realize that they're just fucking contractors. They're just fucking guys that used to be you, and now they're over there and they've taken advantage. So now you become fuck you. You know, I'm checking your ID, and there's altercations and.
And the crazy thing too is
And
you
it
come
got
back
bad.
from multiple tours and it'd be the same fucking contractors. They're just
Yeah.
staying there, just going back. What they get like every 6 months, they get a vacation.
No, usually it was 2 on. It was usually we started off as 3 on, 1 off.
Dude, that's a killer schedule.
It's great.
Yeah, but
I love
think,
that.
And think about that too, with the amount of money you were making then. You know, when they were doing all that stuff. If you could have just poised yourself to do it for 10 years,
Well, that's my buddy. My buddy.
If I would have poised
Yeah.
myself
Yeah.
to just,
Fucking set.
I know.
you'd be fucking.
No,
set.
I know guys
Yeah.
that did that. I know guys that
Because
put
the whole
all
time
of their
you're-
paycheck minus like $2,000
was going in
was
investments.
going in investments.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're not working today, and they're not skimping at all.
No.
They're doing
Yeah,
very
yeah.
good.
You figure by now you're living off your interest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
My
know,
buddy did that.
Because
man.
you're not
He-
spending any money while you're there.
He was a radio dude.
Oh, you can,
He
though.
got out,
Well,
man, and he went
you can be
contract.
smart.
I can tell you all the ways to do it.
You can be smart too, though.
You know how many
know.
times I flew through? I've stayed at the Burj in Dubai, which is like, you know, for one night is like $3,500, and that's
Oh,
not.
there's
There's like $25,000 a night rooms, but I'm in the smaller room in the Burj, and we go out to eat, and I'm working with blue collar guys that grew up blue collar, and we're all making, you know, $200,000-$300,000 a year, and I used to make scores. I was there in the IZ so long that I basically was doing what I just kind of flipped that talent skill set into what I do now. You know, I'd be at a barbecue, and you'd be there building a camp, and you would be there selling air conditioners. Like you were bringing in air conditioners for Edison or whatever the company was.
Yeah.
And you would be bitching about your air conditioners being hung up in customs in Dubai, and can't, because that happened a lot with the end user certificates and all the bullshit. I'm like, well, how many do you need? I need 200. Hey, you got 200 ACs? You want to sell them? How much you want to sell them for? $150? I'd be like, hey, he's got them for 200.
Yeah, give me the 50.
And I made $50 times. Come on, fellas. When we cycle out of here, we're going to Dubai and we're eating and we're spending, and I'm flying first class, and I can tell you how to spend that money.
one of my best friends, dude. He
'Cause that's what happened.
Oh,
Like I
you
said,
can figure a way to.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, if you're smart about it.
Buddy Feeney did. Stupid about it. That's
You
why
got the gift. He always says that. Like, whenever I'm fucking with this guy, like, I'm trying to get. I really try to. I'm not going to reveal my secret, but I try to get under your skin. But so far, I think I've only been a little bit successful because he's good at that. He likes to get a rise out of people. That's what Buddy does.
Well,
But-
the mindset is where I'm at is the place to be.
Yeah, he always hits me back with like the final thing he'll say is I got this gift because he's like I ain't even mad. I got the gift, man. I was like, all right, well, fair enough.
In
But-
my mind, whatever I'm doing is cool. I don't care if I'm hanging out with 5 people and they think that, I don't know, that this hat is stupid. Well, if all the 5 people that I know think this hat's stupid, to me it becomes the coolest hat, and then it is the coolest hat. There you go.
I have that same mentality. Mine is just that I don't give a shit mentality. Like, I could care. My wife's all the time, she's like, it doesn't bother you such. I'm like, nope.
Yeah,
I literally just don't.
You do got a very,
I do not care.
like getting a rise out of you would be hard.
It's
You're very
very
mellow.
hard.
yeah.
But I will tell you, once you do, I'm not I'm
No,
not a
we ain't
good,
wrestling.
I'm not a good person to be around.
Aw.
And I'm like that with you forever.
Yeah.
Like I'm the
Really?
I'm the
One time?
motherfucker that's gonna die
Hating your
you.
guts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. And when you die, I'm gonna laugh.
Yeah. There's some people out there
And
like
it's
that,
just how
but-
it, but it takes a long time to get to that point.
Yeah.
So
My problem is I try not to dislike people.
I try
Because
not to.
my instinct, and I'm not saying that I'm just some big Billy badass, but when you cross me,
Yeah.
my mindset is kill you. That's the only thing I can think of is if I could kill you, I never have to. If we get in a fight, don't matter if I kick your ass or you kick my ass. I got to see you again. Or if I kick your ass, because I'm telling you right now, if we get in a fight and you kick my ass, we're fighting again.
Oh, you're gonna kick my ass every time
and
until you see
again
me. That's
until
how
I
am.
kick your ass, and that's just I won't be able to live it down.
Eventually, you're gonna get tired. of it.
Eventually, you're gonna call a truce, or you're gonna just be, you're gonna move away. So, if I kill you, then I don't got to worry about you no more. It could be something not worth killing somebody, but I think like old days, like if you strip down, if society fell apart tomorrow, and it's fend for yourself, okay, and you got your own little crew in your neighborhood, you know. once you got control of that and you're the man, you don't just relax and retire. You gotta hold that shit.
Keep building it.
So you gotta hold it, because someone like me comes in and I'm like, I don't like the way he's doing it. As soon as you sense that, you either gotta kill me or so you have to hold it. So you gotta become a killer. So a lot of us have that mentality.
It is. My wife all the time. She's
Yeah.
like, you could just do that and it wouldn't bother me. I was like,
Yeah.
I'll just go sit on the couch.
Yeah. Some people got it.
And chill out after.
But here's what I find. I can want to kill you now because of something that you did. Maybe you have to do something, like you got to slight me or disrespect or something like that. I want to kill you now. But if I just forget about it and 4 or 5 months go by, I don't even care anymore.
I normally can, but if
Like I don't like you no more, but I don't want to kill you.
If I see you though, it'll
rehash it.
Yeah.
re-spark
It's getting
that.
hard
I get that,
nowadays
man.
because you can't fight. Like every time I think like I want to kick that motherfucker's ass.
You can't do that anymore.
No.
They'll press charges, and you will
Yeah.
go to jail, or you will have to get a
Well,
lawyer.
it's like it happened in the surf lineup, man. Like you hear, if you study surf culture, you hear about localism and like people dropping in on people, and they'll get into a scrap in the water, or they'll bring it to the beach and fucking scrap it out. We were out there one day when this guy literally, the guy was not in the wrong, man. This guy was being a dick. He told the dude, like, this guy he was in the spot and he was surfing and having a good time, and like this guy kept fucking dropping in on him. Actually, the guy that the vet dude was actually on the right. I talked to
okay,
him.
I didn't know what was going on. Yeah.
But, this dude was talking all this shit, and then he fucking dropped in on the guy and ran over his board, and then the dude smacked him. And so here goes this guy who was talking all this shit and being a fucking pompous asshole,
I went and got the cops.
and got called. The first thing he did was fucking call the cops, dude, because the guy fucking smacked him.
If that's really what happened, because
Yeah.
he did talk shit and get smacked.
Yeah.
He kept talking, and then he went and got the cops. So like, you got to think about that.
That's
like
2023, man.
There's people out there right now. I would love to just fight them. I think I'm not a Billy Badass. So if I don't think I can kick your ass, I'm probably not gonna push the fight.
Oh, I will.
You know what I'm saying?
I can know I'm gonna get
No.
my ass whooped, and I'm still going after.
Well,
you.
it all depends on what the issue is, but there's just people out there. I don't like the way that's the tone of their voice and the way they talk. I don't like the way he's talking to him, so I want to go kick his ass.
But I'm
if I don't
little,
think
too.
I can kick his ass, I'm like, but I've got some fight training, and when you got fight training, it makes you a little more.
Aggressive.
For me, it makes me assume that everybody else does too.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas I posted that thing on my Facebook yesterday with the different types of people that fight. You got the guy.
Oh,
who's
yeah,
like, yeah.
Or the
when you-
machete.
when you know they
Yeah.
can't fight, so you're like, okay. But you never know, because jiu-jitsu, and you don't have to have a whole lot of training. You don't have to be a black belt in jiu-jitsu. You just have to know
Just a little bit.
3 things.
Yep.
I'm going to do this if you do that. And if that don't work, you just got to have a plan of action, and you can beat 90% of the people out there. But a lot of people are trained in that nowadays. So you go into
Oh, yeah.
it,
And
and
that's-
he's like, he knows that's...
I used to try to explain that, like, my security when I was running all the bars here in town. Like, Tim Kennedy and Tim Sharpenter were my heads of security.
Right.
Everybody knows
Tim
who,
Kennedy is...
Yeah, everybody
he's
knows
Tim Kennedy.
who Tim Kennedy is.
I don't know. who Tim Kennedy.
And then we had another guy named
a fighter.
Okay.
Dirty South. Rob.
UFC fighter.
Oh fuck.
Um,
Okay.
Yeah.
From Fayetteville?
No, he's not from Fayetteville.
I mean, local.
He was
He was
an SF.
He trained
Yeah.
with Team Rock.
Yeah.
He was a
Damn.
special forces ranger. Then he's he has a whole.
He was a contractor, I think, too. Yeah.
He basically can put his hands. He can put. He can work his
Yeah.
hands.
He's a guy that if you're
Yeah.
not trained to fight, he's gonna fuck you
Okay,
up.
'cause
Yeah,
you
he's
guys
a-
know him, but I don't know him.
Yeah,
Well,
he's-
never mind, I don't know
and
him,
he's
so.
just as a person, he's an incredible guy. Very very good dude. He runs Sheepdog and some other stuff. In
He's in
Texas
Austin,
now.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's just kick-ass guy. Anyhow, I used to tell my barbacks because they'd all want to go to, every Friday night and Saturday for the most part before work, all those security guys would meet there because Tim and a couple other guys that were there were training them. So it was like
Oh,
free.
yeah, hell
You know what
yeah,
I mean?
man.
We're going to go
I
roll
love
with
Fayetteville,
these
man.
guys.
I hate it, but I love it. Fuck.
And my barbacks would always want to go out there and train with them and stuff like that. And I used to tell my barbacks all the time, like, look, man, don't put your hands on someone just because you think you can or you've been out here and you got this big boy mentality. I said, because in Fayetteville, of all places, there's no telling who you're going to put your hands on.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, it could be a friggin' private but at the same time, it could be some motherfucker that does not look like he can, but he's going
Will
to wrap
handle
your ass
you.
up and
Yes.
hurt you.
I had a
very
landscaper that
Yeah.
was like a little hood boy. He was a white kid, but you know, he thought he wasn't. He thought he was hard as shit. And there was a guy on a Harley. He was wearing he was wearing an infidel SF guy. You could just tell he had his SF badges on his bike, and he was talking shit, but under his breath. And I was like, dude, that motherfucker will whoop your skinny ass. Like, yeah. But you know, so like in when I was in the Army, how MMA was like new in 2001
Combatives only
too.
got introduced, in the
So we did-
2000s.
Yeah,
We
that's
did-
when it
After
was just
Fallujah.
big.
We did
Yeah.
combatives every Wednesday. So what would happen was you would get in a circle, and for like an hour and a half, you would just roll with guys.
Yeah.
And you know, the first couple of times you get your ass kicked, you get pissed. So you're going on YouTube when YouTube was new and learning all these arm bars, and you're training. Because come Wednesday, if Wheatley kicked my ass on last Wednesday, I want a piece of him now because I got something for his ass.
Yeah.
Well, Wheatley's been training twice as hard. He was ready.
Yeah.
And there was one guy, I think it might have been my buddy Barentine, which I don't have a picture. He's in this picture here. We used to go at it a lot. He was another guy that if we were walking to the pisser, he would, like Randy, you got to make a competition out of everything.
Yeah.
But so we had a lot of early training in like chokes and stuff like that. But I haven't really trained in a while. I still watch a lot of stuff and I kind of visualize it. But after I spend like 4 hours watching this new, like that guy that I posted, he's a jiu-jitsu instructor.
Yeah, the curly hair dude.
Yeah, I want to try it. Like, so I find myself like, if a guy looks at me at the gas station,
Oh, God.
like I look back, like what the
up?
the look on my face is,
Yeah.
what the fuck are you looking at? And then I'm in the car and I'm like, man, that motherfucker could have shot me or could have. I don't want to do that.
And
but-
my personality and mentality, I guess, in the best way, is the reason I don't carry one of those.
yeah,
Because
yeah,
people like
I'm not going to use that unless you're fucking.
yeah, and I've had instances where I used to carry one, and the reason being went back to the bar.
No.
My owner had other bars in New York, and he'd leave,
Yeah,
and it'd be like 3 or 4 weeks, and I'd be like, "Hey, man, got like $3 million in cash on me. You mind
Jesus.
coming and getting
Yeah.
this?" So everywhere I went,
yeah,
you know, I would carry a pistol, and I'd have like Tim Sharpener, good buddy of mine, or some of the other like Rob, some of those guys. Like in the evenings, like at night when we're close, I'm like, "Look, dude, you gotta fucking stay here,"
yeah.
because I couldn't leave it where I was staying, so I'd bring it back. And then everybody in town, that was when Fayetteville was still considered a small town. Everybody knew what I did, especially in that industry.
I've met a lot of people that know you from that era.
Yeah.
Like I had a girlfriend one time, acquaintance that was one of your bartenders, Jamie Leal.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I know Jamie.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember when her and Rob were married and
Yeah,
all that
yeah,
stuff.
yeah. She's back in Texas
Jamie's
now.
kick-ass
Steve,
person.
was one of your guys.
Yeah, Steve was my bar back, security, DJ,
Yeah, yeah.
bartender, anything that Larry
You know,
asked him.
how old you reckon Steve is now? He's well into his 50s.
Yeah, he has to be, man. I started working at the Ugly Stick when I was 18 as a bar back, so that'd have been in 2002.
Yeah.
That's funny.
And,
'cause as soon as
and
you said that,
Steve was
I've seen that sign. Is it a bar?
Ugly Stick?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a
yeah,
bar.
back
still
in the-
around?
No,
Oh shit! Because I've seen that sign before. I just don't know where.
yeah,
I don't know
that
when
was
it closed. I never went there.
that was literally in its heyday. Dude, it was incredible. It was like being in another world
Yeah.
walking in that place,
dude,
man. The
yeah.
bar scene in the early 2000s.
That's what I've heard, man.
was
Wow.
insane.
We all know the Horseshoe of Death, right? I've heard about that. Like,
Yeah.
it got shut, but Fayetteville's just a trip.
That place wasn't as bad as you thought. Where Mickey's is at?
I don't know.
that
They
was-
shut it down.
It wasn't that bad.
wasn't
It was
that
just
bad.
all Asian
No.
jerk shops
Yeah.
and stuff like
Okay.
that. So yeah, but the like
I didn't
legit the Ugly Stick, dude. In the summer times, it was mainly an outside bar, and we'd have big bands come in and play on the stage, and we'd have like a local band on the little stage and stuff like that. We'd put 3,000 and 4,000 people in.
Yeah.
nice
When was the
group.
heyday for? What years are you talking about?
I would say the heydays of the Ugly Stick would have been from 2003 until
Those are good
2010.
Okay.
Early 2000s were awesome.
See, I didn't.
They were in
I
general,
didn't,
man.
I didn't
loved
hit the
it.
bar
It was like the
scene in
60s and 70s
Fayetteville.
yeah.
Like I didn't do. I owned a tattoo shop. I think I opened it up in 2007, and about that time I was I never went to bars or anything like that. I was married, you know, I'm a homebody.
I was there about 7 days a week.
Yeah. Then I started hitting the, you know, going to bars, and that's when you go in the tattoo shop at that time, because like Miami Ink was big, and that's about the time where being tattooed wasn't. It kind of transitioned from being a sleazeball
To being
an
cool.
outcast to being like normal.
Yeah, cool.
Well,
and
first
artistic.
it was hip and cool.
It became artistic.
Yeah, now it's just normal. Like
It
if you
is.
see it, you know, it's just, you know, I remember when I first had sleeves, it was kind of still like people would sometimes want to take pictures with you, you know what I'm saying? Because it was like you only saw that at carnivals. You hardly ever saw it. Now it's so common, but
Yeah,
I never went to the Ugly Stick, man. I just know
was-
owning a tattoo
Yo,
shop
y'all
got me
remember
to the front of
Jester's?
the line a
Oh
lot.
yeah, Jester's right by my house.
Yeah.
That's right. I've heard
Hell,
about
it
Jester's.
stayed open forever, man.
Yeah,
Even after
man.
the bar scene was gone, because there were live music. Steve worked there the whole time I was there.
I
It
just
was
talked to
me
him
and Jay.
yesterday.
Of course, Jamie. I remember when I was bar back and Jamie couldn't serve liquor because she wasn't 21 yet. She was a
Yeah.
beer girl after being a waitress and stuff. But man, we had so much fun. Like, and everywhere I went, like I always had those guys with me. Like Steve, he always called
Yeah.
me like, "Don't talk shit to my little buddy." That's
He's the
what he
guy.
always-
I'm gonna tell you, you don't know Steve, but
And
if you're gonna have, if
he
you
will
want
hurt
somebody
you.
on your side,
Yeah.
he's probably 55.
That dude will fucking hurt
And if he stopped in front of a bar and said, and I said, "What are you doing?" He gets out and he goes, "I'm gonna go in there and fuck up 4 dudes. I'll be back." I would not. I mean, I would want to go watch, but I wouldn't be like, I have to go help him.
Yeah.
No, not
he can
at all.
handle.
He's just
yeah.
aggressive, and he's you know he's just
He's a good friend.
Yeah,
Like if he
he
likes you,
is.
he likes you.
yeah.
But man, we had so much fun. Like we worked our asses off, but at the same time, it wasn't really work, and we made so much friggin' money.
Yeah.
Like it was just like
So why don't you get back and why don't you open a bar?
that
man?
scene's not here any longer.
I
No.
wish it was.
Well, I owned a bar for about 8 months. Let me
Yeah.
tell you something. It was not all it was cracked up to be. It was good for like the first 3 months
It
because
was for us, man.
everybody if you own the bar and you're hanging out in the bar, you're gonna get a lot of attention. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the back couch is not that I did that. I'm just saying
The
it,
back
it
couch
was
and the
fun.
Coke platter.
But when you own a bar and
Yeah.
you're partaking in the partying, then the work, which is a lot of work that goes into it,
Yeah,
you know,
it's a
managing,
shitload.
it's a lot, and
yeah,
it falls to the wayside, and then it gets backed up, and then the ABCs, like working for the mafia, they try to set you up.
All the time.
You know, it's like you have to sell their liquor, and they're out there making sure you're selling their liquor, but you have to sell it a certain way, and if you
that's
don't, they
And
don't break your fingers, they
and
put you
our
out of business.
Our main ABC agent at the time when we were running the bar,
Rick.
his name was Rick.
I fucking hate that
Steve beat
motherfucker.
him
Funny how y'all know
Did
these
he?
same
Yeah.
dudes.
And
Well, he was
and
he
he had the little his
Mustache?
He was, Filipino, or he was some type of, I don't remember. Had a little mustache. And Rick, if you're out there, I like you now. You're a dick back then.
I still don't like you.
Steve beat him up one time.
Really?
You know, stuff
Steve.
like that. So we dealt with that in the fire marshal.
And then Rick would always come in. So in 2 phases of me owning that bar, I had my second wife, and then we got divorced, and then I had a girlfriend, which turned into my third wife. And each time Rick came in, I was always drinking, so I could not partake in the search because you can't work. And he was always back there hitting on him.
Yeah, I don't doubt that. I think that's what him and Steve's disagreement was about was women. But man, it's just like we had a lot of fun. We made a lot of money. The bad thing was it was a lot of cash, so you really couldn't do much with it but blow it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Cash is easy.
You know, we'd
Once
go,
you put it in the bank, you gotta like
yeah.
prove where it came from, and
But like Jamie, man, my wife Winter. That's how she was a waitress for me.
was she?
That's how I met her. It's not how we got together, but it's how I knew who she was. And man, our waitresses, we had 25, 35, sometimes 50 waitresses. In a weekend, they'd make $2,000 working 2 nights a week.
Oh yeah.
You
I know Jody.
Oh, yeah.
She works as a bartender, and she only does like 3 to 4 days a week, but that still equals like $4,000 a month.
Yeah, it's
Damn.
Like
a good.
hardly working $4,000 a month. I'm like,
And that's the new norm, man. We had a contractors continuing education class, and a lot of people are starting to base their businesses off of that because people nowadays want freedom, and they want to work 3 or 4 days a week and be off 3 or 4 days a week.
Yep.
And a lot of people are they're really starting to put their businesses to
I'm gonna tell you
that.
I'm gonna tell you what I'm going through right now. I'm finally at a place where if I don't work at all, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm not as bougie as I was when I was working full time,
But you're making it.
but I'm making it plus some. And when I get out of here, I'm gonna be really good. But I am going insane. Like I'm showing up 45 minutes early to shit because I don't have nothing else to do. And then I go out and I got this motorcycle, right? And I decided I'm gonna change the headlight out. I fucked up. I cut all the wires. Like, I'll get a wiring diagram. Fuck that. I'm calling people on Facebook. Man, you know how to do this shit?
I seen
you
where
saw that post?
You posted like, if anybody knows how to do this, man,
I'm paying you.
Yeah.
I'm not.
You're
I'm
going
not,
through the early stages of the retirement.
I don't
man.
like it,
It's
man.
a fucking midlife crisis, man.
Yeah, I'm a walking midlife crisis too. Dude.
I swear
Look
to
at me.
God, in the past,
I already hit
past-
I did my
in the
midlife crisis
past
in the
3
30s.
months, I swear, I've been like that whole reminiscing thing more, and I'm just like,
Dude,
I've been
just
watching.
wait, dude. How old are you? Well, you're older.
40.
Yeah,
I'll
you're
be
you're
40
there.
in
You're there.
December.
I always think you're younger.
And
for
if
some
you
reason,
think
man.
about it, man, 40's your midlife.
That's like we're like 3/4 life crisis. 'cause
I'm gonna
50,
break
60.
100.
Most dudes die at like 60, 65.
I'm gonna break 100.
you hope.
I'm breaking 100.
Yeah.
I hope I do, man. Just because I
I
like
want to be around that
my
long.
friggin' wife and kids are so kick ass. I mean,
Yeah,
that's the only
that's the
reason
thing.
I
I'm
really want to be around.
46. Knock on
Amen to that.
all
I
this
could, I could care
wood.
less about the rest of the bullshit.
Yeah.
I'm just scared I'm gonna have to work that long.
That's
Yeah.
how I
That's
feel
the
like
only
I've
fucking reason I
me,
wanna live so
myself,
long.
I got
I've-
6 years left.
That's how I feel. Like I'm having a hard time lately because I've lived enough life where I feel content with life. And
I have
I'm,
to. I could
I'm
die
trying to
tomorrow and be
find
happy,
new
but I
shit
wanna see
and
my
be
kids.
content. But here's 3 things I
I don't want
love.
to die.
Here's 3 things I still love. I still love, like I said, I still love going out in the woods in the crisp fucking morning, being up in that tree. I still love that. Like I live for that. Like I could do that every day and be happy. I still love going out in those fucking beautiful waves. Like the other day I was out, man. I saw the sun come up and it was coming through the clouds. And it started raining where I was, and it was sunny over here, and the water was a fucking vibrant green. I still love that, and I look forward to that every day. But my wife and kids, man, like
Would you ever get bored of that?
no. I
So then
haven't.
why do you keep trying to like give me the bad sides about Nicaragua? About I'm gonna be doing
No,
that.
I'm not. I'm a weird man. Like
When it's
I'm a-
every day.
I think he don't want me to leave.
I don't
so
want to know.
he's-
That's the secret. Yeah. I'm like, fuck. He's gonna do it.
That you know that
Yeah.
is that weighs on me. It does because we got a good tribe of
do,
people, even
man.
though with the
Yeah.
bullshit sometimes, and it's this Carolina Beach or Wrightsville Beach and blah 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 and this and that. It's still you've got a core of homies to go surf with or go hunt with, and I'm gonna start over there. But I think that
See, I've lost my core of hunting buddies, man.
that's because you don't be sharing information.
No, it's not that. It's just like a lot of them have just kind of like Chris. I don't know what the hell his
He don't
problem-
have. He still lives
don't-
on that
he-
farm. He can just go
he
on his
just-
backyard.
Yeah, but he can't kill shit like we can at
Yeah,
Bragg.
it's not. I wouldn't.
My buddy last year, Mike, he had a lot of stuff going on. Man, his dad passed away. He had a fucked up year.
Yeah.
And his nephew Travis, and then my buddy Jason, he moved to the beach. So Josh, he can only hunt every so often, but at the same time, maybe Josh is like as gung ho as I am about it, but he
Right.
also hunts private land.
Well,
Yeah.
you
Like,
got.
all
You
mine's
see all
like
those cameras?
Bragg,
You
Bragg,
send us a
Bragg.
picture of all those cameras. When you put them up and you start sharing information with us, we'll be your homies.
I mean, I'm telling you,
We'll be your
I mean,
friend.
I don't mind that a bit. And like, when I met Josh through fishing, and then I found out he hunted at Bragg, and I was like, "Fuck, I kind of need someone to hunt with and stuff." So I called my buddy, a mutual friend of ours, and I was like, "Hey, man, what's up with Josh?" And he was like, "Oh,
he
man."
started scouting for
yeah,
friends.
yeah, because we've been talking about hunting again.
yeah.
And what I do on Bragg, like him and a select few other people do, we put a shitload of work in.
Oh yeah.
Like, but I cannot tell you how many hundreds of dollars of diesel I burn a month just scouting.
As
Back
long
and
as
forth
you
and
do,
stuff.
like,
as long as you promise
Yeah.
you'll never just show up at my house at 3:00 in the afternoon because you're bored, we can be friends. Because that's the reason why I don't have a lot of friends. When they
yeah,
just
No,
show
I
up
don't
at your
show-
house.
I don't
He
show
knows.
up anywhere.
My friend, like I've had friends on here. A couple of my buddies sat in the podcast because they just showed up at my house. And
They
I was
just,
like,
I was like, man,
I'm
you got some
literally
good
out the
friends,
door,
but
and I'm
I
like,
wouldn't
guys.
like that.
But my buddies, they always check on me, man, because like I go black. Like when I'm in my downers, I just cut everything off, and like people will call me, I won't fucking answer, just because that's how I deal with shit. Like I
Yeah,
shut down.
I do the same.
I've always
dude.
dealt
I,
this,
I cut
you know.
every fucking body off.
Yeah, it doesn't mean
to
that
a
I'm.
fault.
But the dudes will just show up at my door, and they're my buddies. So it's like there's been 2 times now where my buddy got back from a fucking deployment, and the first thing he did when he came back to North Carolina was he knocked on my door. And I'm like, I was literally It was like I was
He
trying
was
to be
probably
on time
sleeping.
too.
It was probably 2:00 in the
No, I
afternoon.
wasn't
He was still
sleeping.
So tired.
I've been getting up now. No. But
So busy.
I literally was walking out the door, and this dude like knocks on my door, and he's been fucking gone for 6 months in a place that we can't disclose, but there's shit going on, and like I was like, holy fuck, dude! I'm like, David, you're my boy, but I'm literally like leaving to do this podcast right now. So either you're coming with me, or we're gonna fucking
Oh,
catch up later.
yeah, when he was sitting over there.
And he was sitting right over there the whole time. But it's like, Buddy's like, what the fuck, man? This is like your third homie this week that's
It
just showing up
pops
randomly.
Yeah.
But, you know, that's cool.
It is, man. But yeah, I like.
When you got a lot of friends too, though, then you get that fucking that group text like, "Hey, I'm painting my house, free beer."
Yeah.
Like, motherfucker, I ain't painting your house for beer.
Yeah, not for beer. You know,
Yeah.
I wouldn't paint my own house for beer.
Yeah, no,
I'll
that's
just
what
go
I'm saying.
I'll go work a little bit harder and pay someone.
Pay someone to
My
paint.
cousin, Guillermo, he's like that. He does everything himself. It takes him 6 months to paint his house, but I'm like, look, man, I can get it done for you. I won't, no money. I just give you the crew. They'll do it for like $4,000 or $5,000 cheaper than if you were to hire, because you're my family. I don't make no money. And he's like, nah, I'll do it myself. And I'm like, God, I feel obligated.
But honestly,
Because
man,
he would come and help
I
me if
know.
I was doing it. So I was like,
here's the thing, though. Honestly, these days, DIY used to be really great. But
No,
these days, with the cost of everything, and if you fuck up, you're going to spend more than if you just hired someone to fucking do it
A
anyhow.
lot of times, man.
Yeah.
kind of like that headlight on my bike
Shit,
that I'm
dude.
not.
Yeah.
There's like 20, 30 wires. And you know what the fucked up thing is? I took some paint and I painted all the wires so I would know where to connect them back. I cut them all. By the time I got done rigging up the light, because it's custom, so I had to like drill, and if I would have just left it all alone, I could have just rerouted it all back. But I thought I was going to move the ignition switch to the rear of the bike, so I had to rewire.
Yeah.
But I ended up just tapping into the new mount where the old one was, and I could have been riding that motorcycle with a new light. But so I'm going to pay somebody probably $200, $300, $400. I don't know what they charge for that shit.
Probably so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it'll get done
But
professionally. so that's good.
nobody wants to do it.
I wouldn't want to touch it. And I'm good at electrical work like that. That's what I
Come
do
on,
on-
man, get my bike done.
That's
Come
what
on,
I do
man.
on bass boats and stuff like that. Is like my little side.
So you can read a
hustle money.
wire diagram?
Oh, yeah.
Come on, man.
Did
come
you
on.
go to school for electrician or what?
No, I
picked
can
it up?
learn it, man.
Patience.
I can pick shit up
It's patience.
quickly, man.
Wiring's
And if-
easy because you just follow. Okay,
Yeah,
it's got,
it's follow the leader,
but
man.
it's patience too.
It,
It's
it
like-
is, and it can be aggravating. A lot of people don't want to do it, but no, I got into rigging bass boats out of pure necessity because I was having issues with mine. I was like, man, I'm gonna figure this shit out.
Yeah,
And then
I'm done
I'd
with
get
that.
it figured out, and somebody would be like, hey man, come here and help me.
Mm-hmm.
Hey man, come here. I'm like, all right.
Yep. All of a
Fuck
sudden
all
you're a
this
pro.
helping.
I could.
You know.
Here's the thing: if I was
I'm gonna make some
inclined,
money.
if
Yeah.
I was inclined to do it, I mean, I got the time. I just it stresses me the fuck out. I don't want to do it. It's hot. Even though I got an air conditioner in my damn garage, it just doesn't. It's not
Yeah.
insulated right, and I'm sweating, and I'm frustrated, and I buy all the connectors and I do it right, but by the time I'm done, it's like duct tape and fucking twisted and just
yeah.
like, as long as it doesn't move, it won't short out. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Hit a bump by,
Hit a
headlights go
bump,
out.
it's fucking over.
Yeah.
It's over. I have
I
no
learned-
headlights. I'm probably gonna die.
You know,
So if anybody out there wants to make couple
in your
$100
electric
bucks or so,
savvy.
whatever it costs, the wires are all there. You just got to follow the wire diagram and put it right back on the switch, and it's
Yeah.
like 30 wires. So.
Yeah, and it's hot, so and
I
Buddy
learned-
won't be out there, so he won't be aggravating.
Yeah,
so.
no, I'll leave you alone. I got air conditioning in my garage, man.
Yeah.
I got one of those plug-in air conditioners and run the damn vent
Oh,
under the door.
the little portable.
Yeah. I bought it for the van.
We used to have one of those down at the cabin, and then we graduated to a through the window unit.
Yeah.
It'll freeze you the fuck out.
Oh, dude, yeah, those window things, man. Those things are.
It'll get.
The same thing
cold.
with that van. I got that van for surfing. Something that if I wanted to go down, this is my thinking. If I go down and I surf the morning and I know it's going to be good in the afternoon, I'll go and I'll hang out in my little camper, my little van life van, right?
Yeah.
And air conditioned, got a heater. It's got the whole back floor is memory. If I got a futon that goes in there,
Thanks, pimp.
and I could live in it, but I get down there and I'm like, okay, what am I going to do while I'm sitting in the parking lot? Well, fuck it, let's go to a hotel.
Hang
So the
out.
van is just
It's obsolete now.
Jody's all about it though. She's like, oh, guess why? She's like redneck. Like she'll fucking get muddy and do the hard shit. Like we look at campers all the time because I'm always on the fence. I want to go to Nicaragua. Maybe we just get a camper. I'm gonna go live in a camper. As long as I'm not living in a house and being average, normal. I don't want to do that.
Well, here's the thing about Nicaragua, man. It was a dream.
Yeah.
and it was out of reach, but you've reached it.
Yeah, I
Fucking
can
do
work-
it, man.
Yeah, I'm
Try,
doing it.
try
yeah.
it till the first of the year. and
Fucking
say,
do it, dude.
"All right,
Yeah.
man,
Well, I'm
I'll
gonna
do
go
it right now."
for a year, and the first it was-
Everyone's. By the way, like I know this for a fact, just
Everyone's
from what I've seen.
running
Even
bets.
with the tribe, it's like, how long's Buddy gonna
Yeah.
have? I got 3 months, but
well,
prove me
here's the
wrong.
thing.
How long
think
does
he'll
this
make
take
it
you?
till
Well,
March.
they're basing
March.
that they're basing that off of Texas because I moved to Texas.
But that
That
was,
was for a girl.
But yeah,
yeah, but that was a stop in the X field. That was I'm gonna go to Texas. We'll do a year here, get everything set up with this Airbnb business, and then we're gonna go to Costa Rica. Well, right when I got there, I found out that she was just a lot of vodka talk, like yeah. But
Vodka
but when it got real, it was kind of like well, blah, blah, and I was like, oh, that wasn't part of the plan.
Yeah.
Long distance relationships worked out great because you're like single, except for when you got your phone time and the visit and stuff like that, which was great. But getting down there, and then she turned out to be a fucking psycho.
here's a fact
Yeah,
for
like,
all
I
the-
went to
yeah.
Texas one time for the same area
Yeah.
for the same thing, and turned out to be a fucking psycho.
Yeah,
too.
so I came back and I was like, well, I had to get my kid before I put him in homeschool. I had to get back, put him in school. I'm gonna be here for the school year. I got an apartment. Thought I signed a 12-month lease. So like I said, I was supposed to be out of here next month, but
I was.
I'm going. I don't plan on ever. If
I
I
was
ever leave
fucking
Nicaragua,
stoked,
it's gonna be to Costa Rica or Indonesia or the Philippines.
Indo-
I'm gonna be a
Indo would be
gypsy.
sick.
Well, if
Yeah.
your ex-wife's the manager lady there, she's still the manager lady there.
Yeah, but she's not the manager per se. She's the leasing agent,
Uh-huh.
and if I could cut my lease, but they charge you $1,000.
Oh, I got it.
So I was gonna pay the $1,000, but then it hit me like, okay, hunting's coming up. I'll get to do some hunting before
And
I
you have
leave.
a home base for hunting. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go hunt, and then I'm gonna leave like right when the rut's like winding down anyway. But
That's actually
on
on
the
Between-
17th?
huh?
On the 17th?
Yeah. Usually the rut for me, what I see the most action. As long as I can hunt the first and
That's a
second
good
week,
question.
I'm good.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you that because what's your like the rut? Thanksgiving weekend.
Veterans Day to the Saturday after
Yeah,
Thanksgiving.
veteran. Yep. So he's gonna be in the prime.
But I see
okay.
I see the more mature bucks.
Later.
I mean, it's literally like I seen a deer that I was hunting hard this year. Only time I saw him in daylight, even on a camera,
Yeah.
was the Saturday after Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
and
they
I
go
start
hard, yeah.
and I start looking back, and I'm like, damn, them 4.5, 5.5 plus year old deer. That's when you're seeing them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're seeing really good deer. But think about if you go back on the cameras, not the cameras, but like pictures of just however many years Fort Bragg's had Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Go back and look at how many deer from Saturday until the second or the last Saturday in November, which is basically the Saturday after Thanksgiving, to the first Saturday in December.
Yeah.
Look
You're
how
right.
many bigger,
right.
That's the
mature
prime.
deer
Yeah.
as a more regular happening. I mean, there's always the stupid.
No,
son
no,
of
no.
a bitch
You're
that's
right
gonna-
about that.
You know what I mean? That's going to get killed a little
Which,
bit earlier. But on as an average, there's I think personally, and I could be proven wrong by like Chris. I'm sure he has all the data for it. But from what I've seen personally and what I've seen at the skinning shed, that's when them bigger, mature, more harder to kill deer when they're killed is that 10-day period.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, here's it's funny because this is our third podcast with you on, and we were talking
Fourth.
about fourth. Oh shit, it is the fourth.
Is it really?
Yeah, that's bad. Well, you're part of it now. So, but we were talking about how we were going to talk about pre-rut, rut, and then late season. So I did want to get into late. We've been going.
Well, we're already at like almost 3 hours, so maybe
probably
we
need
should
to
do.
do with Bennett next week.
Yeah.
Real
And
quick-
that's what we need to do is next
Yeah,
week
let's-
with Bennett.
yeah.
Let's just do hunting.
yeah,
Yeah.
late
Whole
season.
time.
Well, this is what happens. You come on, and we're going to talk about hunting the first time, right? Then you come back, and we talk about hunting the second time. Then you come back, and then we start talking about, and then it becomes 3 white guys talking to me. Same thing with us. We talked about everything, but then it just becomes the same.
It's cool.
So-
I mean,
But it's cool, man. Like,
it
that's
is,
what a
man. I mean,
podcast is.
It's you can get on here and you can talk about anybody. If somebody don't want to watch it, then turn the
Yeah.
fucking channel.
Oh, we
Okay.
got someone. So we do have someone talking about Nicaragua on our.
What
I want to
about
get into. I got to interact because we're live.
Who is it?
But Moto 911. I don't know who that is, but it says waves look great in Nicaragua.
Oh, yeah.
What's the price of houses there? And then also that's also when everyone is out with rifles. Oh yeah, late season.
Late season,
Yeah.
So the pricing in Nicaragua, I can't
It's
talk
still-
like I'm an expert.
It's still the uncharted path compared to Costa Rica.
If you're familiar with Tamarindo, Costa Rica, or even Santa Teresa, Costa Rica, it's kind of like getting in there 25 years ago.
Yeah.
I'm paying and I know that I'm paying double what I would be paying if I was on the ground. If you do anything over the internet, you're gonna pay
Especially
double.
if you're in America.
But if you if you don't
Yeah.
want to live on the
I'm sure
beach,
they know.
Yeah, your
Yeah.
money's
you can.
greater.
Hey, you can get up in the cities, like in Managua, like outside the cities, and not the province so much, but you can get like 4-bedroom houses with a pool that are like $600 a month.
Jeez.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now I'm living right on the beach in Popoyo. So
That was
like I said,
Fayetteville in
I
the
pay
1990s.
$1,400, and all of my water, my electric, and my internet is all included. So rent's probably what, $800 for right on the beach,
Yeah.
and a stilted house with a guest house, no pool or nothing like that. But
You got
Oh.
the ocean.
you got the ocean. But
You got an outside shower.
this next year after, yeah,
Probably.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, the
that's-
And it's
outside
well
shower.
water, which is
That's all you
sure.
need.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, I think it's city water. I don't know. I'm going like I said. What I should do is what everybody
We need
should
to
do
continue
is
this podcast
go-
remotely when you're down there.
we will.
Yeah.
We will. Yeah, because what else am I going to do?
Yeah.
You know,
Just
I've
figure out
actually
where we
thought
can set
about.
it up at.
Yeah, because this place will be gone unless you
Yeah.
guys want to pay rent. It's free now.
Well, we did it. We did it. You know, we did it remotely before, just through voice and
It
headset.
ain't
Yeah.
quite as good though.
It's not.
No, it's
We'll
better.
figure
to
something out.
be
Maybe
able
I'll.
to
Maybe,
watch.
you know, I'm thinking of getting a fucking man cave, like for my backyard, one of those
Yeah.
sheds, since I have just enough room.
I got a pretty good one.
He's got a man
We'll
cave.
figure it out.
Yeah.
But
So what it'll do is you guys, I'll leave this with you guys, and then we'll just figure out how to do because YouTube has a feature like
Yeah.
like a what do you call it when you do the internet conferencing.
yeah, like Google Chat.
Yeah.
But
It won't be as bad. Like I might be a little choppy, you
We'll
know
do
what
a
I'm saying?
stupid
But-
one just one time just to see how it works. And then after once we get the kinks
He says,
worked out.
Moto 911 says, buddy, you know me a little. I was on your camera before. I don't know who this is. We got a mystery guy out here.
Is
You
it-
gave me a deer before. Okay.
Oh, it's
Don't put him out there, but you know
no,
him, right?
it's applesauce.
Applesauce. Is
Yeah,
that you,
yeah, yeah,
applesauce?
it's
Okay, we're
applesauce.
gonna interact, but
He surfs. He's a surfer.
Oh, sick, dude.
I've seen some video of him. He was in
So-
Hawaii.
what I'm gonna tell you
On a
though, when you go down to
shortboard.
Nicaragua, get yourself a Hawaiian sling. I don't know if you can get it down there. I don't know the legality is of fucking shit down there, but get yourself a spear gun, get yourself a Hawaiian sling. You know what a Hawaiian sling is?
Is that
It's
the
a-
rubber band?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The most useful thing you'll use for spearfishing.
Yeah,
dude.
yeah,
You,
yeah,
you
yeah.
sling it back and you just let it go. But
Yeah.
dude, you can. I used to do this in Hawaii, man. My friends, like, we'd go surf all day and then we'd fucking go out and spearfish
Oh,
in
yeah,
the
I'm gonna
evening
do
and
it
get
all.
dinner, man.
Yeah, that's pretty
dude,
cool.
This time
Yeah.
next year, I'm gonna be so fucking
He said,
ripped.
"Yep, that's applesauce."
Yeah, yeah,
But-
yeah, yeah. What's up, bud?
yeah. So we've been on for a while, man. We're kind of drawn out, but
Yeah, I gotta go, man. I'm
yeah,
tired.
John.
I am
John
too.
needs
I've been
a-
yawning.
Yeah,
I was like,
I'm,
man,
my
I'm
eyes are
freaking
getting
tired as
heavy,
hell.
and I don't know because I was working on those brakes today. My lower back hurts. So.
But
Yeah, he actually worked.
And you know what
It's
it
the
is?
first time
Look,
this year.
I'm trying to sit up straight because on the last podcast, the camera angle, I was sitting back like this, and the way my shirt was, it looked like I had some fucking spare tire.
no,
gut.
I think
Well,
you had
at
a
least
little
you ain't
gut going
friggin'
on last while, but it's gone now, so that's
At
good.
least you ain't scratching like a freaking crackhead, man.
Yeah.
God,
You know what it
everything
is?
on me
Hey,
Hey,
look, we're
yeah.
out of here. Go on the motherfucking pro shop.
Oh yeah, flat daisy
and
spearfish.
buy some goddamn. Buy a t-shirt. Buy a hoodie.
GD's probably not the best way to get people to buy stuff. You are in the South.
Please.
Yes.
Please go. I got to break even, fellas. I did it for y'all. I get my own shirt made, but go buy some.
Real quick. I want to, just because this guy's on here, Moto 911, I want to give you a shout out. Yeah, Hawaiian 3-prong. You tuned in late, but we try to, we're a podcast, we try to acknowledge our guests.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that's the thing you do, man. Hawaii too. Flat days, you go spearfish.
Oh yeah.
Catch in the morning.
I don't think
grill
there's
it
any
for
flat
lunch.
days in Nicaragua.
There's gonna be
though.
flat days.
I don't
But
think so.
yeah, dude, it's a whole
Offshore
way of
winds
life, man.
every day.
Yeah.
You can get octopus,
Every day.
all kinds of stuff. But anyways,
Yeah, man.
yeah, thanks for tuning in, everybody. If you're still watching, this is How Copy Podcast, and with your hosts, Buddy Feeney, Brendan Wheatley, and Jonathan
Holloway.
Holloway. What the fuck do I was gonna say Castaway. Good lord.
That'd be all right, too,
But
Wilson.
thanks for tuning in, y'all, and catch us next week, and we will be live again, and we are out.
I think we're out. Yep.
Jonathan Castaway.
Castaway.
That's your porn
Hey, you
name,
talking
man.
about? Yeah, really. You talking about rough? Saturday morning, we had a